Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Spooky Japan Podcast. Hoping everyone out there is doing okay today. Irene is still out ill, but that's okay. Because today I have with me Lee from Paravizionz. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just hot and humid over here, so just trying to get through that.
Yeah, same here. It's just bizarre here in the States with hurricanes and high temperatures everywhere. So, yeah.
Yeah, I see that. What was the hurricane's name?
Debbie?
Debbie.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
Deborah
saw
came
people.
through mean.
Yeah, people in the south are definitely posting about that and the flooding.
Yeah.
So, for the listeners out there who might not be familiar with who you are, how would
Okay.
you introduce yourself? Where did your journey begin?
Sure. Well, my name is Lee Allen. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I have been in the paranormal since 1998. Uh, and it's getting close to the anniversary time of when I got involved. My son was born August 14th, 1998, and he passed away 2 weeks after he was born with a hypoplastic left heart. So at the end of August, um, I started seeing this little 3 foot shadow. And this little shadow was, I don't know what it was the purpose, but I was like, it can't be my son because it's 3 foot tall. Um, and so I'm sitting in my condo and I saw a shadow coming down the steps. And then I saw it hovering right behind the TV on the left side. And I'm watching TV in the dark and I could see this shadow. And as I was watching it, it started coming to the TV. And as it crossed the TV, it actually casted a shadow. Like, I'm like, oh, someone's here. So I'm reaching to turn the lamp on. And at that time, I could still hear it because I wasn't really looking because I was trying to get the lamp turned on. It went through my dining room and you could hear barefoot on the ceramic tile and then a giggle and it went away. So I'm like, okay, it's a child. Don't know who this child is. So, hello, Irene. So, a couple weeks later, I was getting ready. It was a Saturday, getting ready to go play golf with friends. Get out of the shower. I could hear in the nursery. We never opened up the nursery, so I could hear the mobile playing backwards, and it was the Baby Looney Tunes song playing backwards on the mobile. So I opened the door, and you could see the mobile swinging back and forth, but nobody there. So I go in, and I'm looking around, and at that moment, I stopped in where I was standing, and I felt like somebody was watching me. So I literally walked backwards out the door, closed the door, went to play golf. And a friend actually that day goes, "What's wrong? You look like you saw a ghost." And I'm like, I saw something. I felt something. I'm not sure. And I explained, I says, don't think I'm stupid, but this is what I experienced. And I've experienced it once before. Um, so he got me in contact with his friend. And his friend actually lost a son, and which was a little older, and he did something interesting. He does paranormal, and I'm like, okay, so this is cool. So I can grieve with him and talk, some questions about, how did you go through the process of losing your son, but also what's this shadow that I saw. So he helped me out a lot, and it was like therapy, grieving, and someone to talk to. He's like, here, read this book. And so then I was more intrigued into the paranormal as well, because I started seeing the shadow throughout the fall. So he invited me to an investigation at the beginning of January of '99 at Moundsville Penitentiary in Wheeling, West Virginia. So I went there, not knowing anything about this. I just thought it was really cool, experiencing some real cool place. And so we go in, and it was really cool. It was interesting. I had a great time. And then I got hooked. So it started from there.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like a beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
everyone tuning in, it looks like Irene was able to join us. I know she
Hello,
wasn't
Irene.
available yesterday, so I was like, I wasn't going to disturb her today if she was still feeling on the weather. I know you were last night.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm still rough
But,
around the edges, but I'm
luckily
okay.
today you're trying to get through it. So
Yeah.
that's what Chad's saying. Hey, everyone. Hope you're feeling better, Irene.
Exactly right.
So it's funny here with shadow figures, as I tell people, it when I first got here, one of the first things I've seen, obviously paranormal wise, was a shadow person. And usually United States shadow people, they're usually moving fast somewhere, or they're hiding, or they're in and out, or it's one of those things where you just kind of have to see it. Here, when I first saw one, it was just standing and staring at me.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, is this reality? Like, I thought I was losing my mind because I was walking my dog and it was on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
And I was just like, started looking around. I'm like, is
Oh wow.
it me? What's going on here? But then my dog, she just turned 2, so she was still very in the very excitable,
Yeah.
every human is put on earth to pet me stage. So she reacted to the way she does every time she sees the new person, where she wants to go over and sniff them and investigate them, have
Yep.
them pet her. So she was acting like she saw a person. So I'm like, okay, my dog sees this. So at least, so it's actually there.
It's legit. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the only reason why I didn't think I was going insane, is my dog was reacting to it. Because other than that, I'm like, there is no way this thing is here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Especially like I said, back in America, they're moving fast, in and out, moving. This was standing, staring, and watching. I'm
Over
like,
there, they're
okay.
laid back. It sounds like, and they're kosher, and they're watching you. And they're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Pretty much. Where sometimes we'll just watch and be like, this is my area. Because a lot of people are like, you say you see shadow figures just standing and watching all the time out there. How come you don't take photos and try and talk to it? And I was like, because it told me it does not want me to. And I'm not going to cross that boundary and find out what happens.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to do that either. If it
That's
says
what I told them.
They don't want you to interact with them. They don't want you to have anything to do with them. They want you to be in your space, and they want them to be in their space. So they don't want to cross between the two. So they're just like, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone.
Oh wow.
But then there are some that will react with you, and they'll try to get on your worst side of you. They'll try to make you get angry so that you can say, ha 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 ha, I got you angry, I'm going to get you. There are some that are like that too here. So you have to watch which ones you get. You have to be very careful how you
Yeah, I was
interact
going to
with
say, and that would be hard to try to be very careful because you don't know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so it's like a here, and I'm sure you get it there, that it's a child. We're all talking to. We don't know that it's a child. It's just mimicking
No.
a child. It could be something
Yeah.
totally opposite.
It could be a shapeshifter. It could be incubus,
Yes.
succubus. It doesn't matter. It could be ye list about yay long, and which one do I choose? Right? Pick the multiple. Pick your choice. Which one do you want me to be? I'll be whatever one you want me to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just different here. They're just
Irene,
different.
does the police here have body cams? I've never seen one. Like, I've seen the police, but I've never seen them have, like, the body cams.
No, they don't have body cams here.
That's what I figured. I'm like, I don't think they have body cams here. I think that more became a United States thing over
Yeah,
the last few
it's
years.
here, the corrupt United States.
But on every intersection, they have a camera, so the camera can pick up whatever. And usually the stores in between all have cameras outside of the stores.
So you're
yeah,
capturing everything down the street.
yeah. So they can see everything, and plus, you may not have a police running after you if you were speeding. They'll take a picture like this, like all of a sudden you get in the middle. Ha ha ha! I caught you. You were speeding at such and such time. Yeah. Yep. And the worst you'll get is you'll probably have to pay about $600 and you lose your license.
Oh,
Bye
you
bye.
lose your license.
Yeah,
Wow. For how long?
until you go to school
Oh,
and
wow.
learn how to drive properly
So
again.
now you got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Totally different.
It's a little bit stricter here. It's really hard sometimes, and a $600 speeding ticket is a lot of money to a lot of people here. And you have points, right? So you have so many points. You lose so many points. After you lose so many points, you go.
Yeah, and I bet you it's really hard over there for a DUI, huh? If it's really
Oh,
strict. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Like bye bye, bye bye.
Yeah. And then you lose your job and all that good stuff too.
Oh yeah. No, you take the public transportation system, which is really good here too, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably more of the commute, right? Is the
Yeah,
bus.
well, it's public transportation obviously is a little bit better here than America due to the
Yeah.
fact is here in Japan, not every place has their own parking spot, and it's not like
Mhm.
America where you can just go and buy a car.
Yeah.
Here in Japan, you have to prove that you specifically own your own parking spot to park that car in every night.
Oh
Mhm.
wow.
So, your either your mortgage or your lease, it's gonna have
Yeah.
they're numbered. They're usually numbered here.
Mhm.
Oh
So
wow.
they'll have like the address, the number. There
Mhm.
is a picture attached, a picture of a little map of the area that you live in, and there's gonna be like an X or something where your parking spot is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it takes a few days after you originally submit that. It takes a few days because they actually have police go out and verify the
Yeah.
information.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you can't just forge documents. Like, oh, I own this parking spot. They actually look
Yeah.
in to make sure. Like, I think the lease with your name is legit. The parking
Mhm.
spot there is legit.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Even if you buy a home, you have to the parking spot you own with your home, and that parking spot is yours. You have to claim that when you buy a home. So it's all done with you. It's all done all at once when you buy a house.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
My
you don't have
son's in Austria.
Mhm.
He's been over there the last 3 years getting his master's degree, and we went over to visit. And it's this sort of like the same thing over there. You don't
Yeah.
really see a lot of vehicles
No.
because it's really hard to go through the towns with a vehicle.
Yeah.
Hello.
And
Yeah,
it's expensive to own a car here. So that's
yeah,
why
and that's over
You
there
have to
too.
pay road tax every year too.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And you have to have check-in is a thing where you have to take your car in to the dealership and you have to get brake pads replaced. You have to get tires with proper air in it. If it's not, you have to have a tire changed. Like everything is all changed
At the
every so.
same time, it's like a
And then
vehicle.
you get a sticker that's placed on your windshield saying that you've done this, so your car
yeah,
is roadworthy.
to show that you actually did do it and you own the
Yeah.
parking spot. It
Yeah.
is, and I didn't realize this. So we did this in bits, but still. So half of it took literally a day.
Yeah.
And then we did the second half after we got the approval for okay, yes, your lease is legit. Your parking
Yeah.
spot is actually there as you showed.
Yeah.
That was verified. So we went and did the other stuff, and we thought, okay, this shouldn't take more than an hour or two. It was a whole day thing.
Yeah.
It's a
And the
process,
worst
huh?
part is, yeah, you go to one office, they approve, they give you some approval paperwork. They send you to another office,
Yeah.
another approval paperwork, and then you go to another office, to another office. It literally took us
Wow.
all
Yeah.
day. So it could like take 2 to 3 days
Yeah.
just to get the car in your name. I did not realize that here
If
in
you have an
England.
apartment, they do that. If you own a house, you don't
Yeah.
have to.
If you own a
Oh.
house, it's easier to get.
Yeah,
Or
if you, because you have to pay rent on the parking spot, and that goes to
Yeah,
another
all for a parking spot.
different
just like
company.
Chad said, all for a
Yeah,
parking spot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So they want to make sure you
so
actually own this.
the rent money for your house is for your house, for your apartments for your apartment. The rent money's for your parking spot goes to a different place. So it's all separated, and it's a lot of money actually to rent a parking spot.
So like over here going to the BMV, you know, like
Yeah,
you go in, you get a notary, you get your, you know, you get a car, and then
yeah,
you go and you get a
yeah,
transferred into your name. It's like maybe an hour or two sometimes here. It can get a little busy, but all day, wow.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it took multiple days, and we didn't realize that because we did half. It took about
Yeah.
a day. Then we did the other half, and it's just like, wow.
Now, Amanda, did you bring your car from over here to there, or did you buy one?
No, we got one over here because
Okay.
that'd be a lot of money too.
And if you another thing is really funny is that to go get a driver's license in Japan, right? To learn how to drive and get a driver's license, it's about $4,500.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That's over here for some people, that's like a loan. Got to get
it
them.
is. It is. It is. It's really expensive.
Yeah. Then on top of
This
that,
is
the
why
interest
people.
rates.
This is why a lot of people don't have their license. They just take public transportation.
Yeah.
Now, how
Well,
is the public
transportation
transportation
is a
there?
lot cheaper.
Yeah, how is it over there? Do you pay like a weekly, monthly fee, or is it a
What
year,
monthly,
monthly?
and wherever you work, your work usually provides the money for transportation, so they pay for the transportation. If
Oh,
you have a school, if you go to school, like let's say you go to high school, but it's not in the vicinity, your high school is probably way far away, then you can get permission. It's a permission, kind of like a permission slip, that you live this far away from school, and so you'll be authorized to get a, a pass.
yeah.
It's got the where you live. It takes you from where you live to the school and back,
Okay.
and you can use it on buses, you can use it on trains, or you can use it on underground subways.
Oh, so well, that's not too bad then.
No, but you know what? That's also expensive too.
I bet it is. And then plus you got a lot more population around those areas to get to your destination.
Yeah, like my daughter, I think hers was about $300 a month.
Jeez.
My son's more. His is more expensive because his is right in the middle where Tokyo Tower is, and that's really expensive.
I was
And
going to say, yeah.
his underground subway is way more money. So yeah, it depends on how far you have to go to school,
Yeah.
depending on how it is. Yeah,
My brother-in-law actually is an architect for New York City. He's in
yeah.
Lower Manhattan, and he's got an office in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does stuff there and in New York. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's told me some great things because I was like, yeah, that's a place I want to visit though.
And if you ever get into an earthquake, that's the best place to get into. You don't want to get into an earthquake in New York or
Yeah. I'd rather, be somewhere,
somewhere where you can survive, right?
Exactly.
Irene,
Exactly.
you know if there's a minimum wage here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to share.
Usually about $6 an hour. Even with
I'm a,
Japan and McDonald's, you get paid better than there. Oh shit! What happened?
yeah, he can.
Sorry about that. It bounced out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we
I'm
go.
assuming that's $6 in yen.
Yeah.
$6 is the wage over there, the hourly wage for minimum
The
wage.
minimum wage, yeah,
Yeah.
$6 yen. So whatever that translates to in currency of the
Wow.
United States.
But yeah, usually my son, he's working part-time. He gets about comes home about 300, but $3,000. He'll make $3,000 a month. Now, it's a little bit better, but you work a lot longer.
You do a lot of hours during the day.
Yeah,
So like over here, an average it's 8 hours.
yeah.
So
Yeah, you work
that's
long,
probably
man.
that's probably like till lunchtime over there. It's like, oh, we're gonna.
Yeah. You go to school long too. You
Do
leave
you
early
really?
in
How
the
long?
morning.
How long is the school day?
You get up at 7 o'clock. You're out of the house by 8. You come home about 7 o'clock at night.
Oh my!
Yeah, I was gonna say
Wow!
I see the kids walking in the evening. So
It
Wow!
depends if you have club. Then you come home at 8 o'clock or 9.
Those kids
And
are wore out.
and then Saturdays you wake up the same times and you come home about noon.
Wow!
Yeah,
Yeah, those kids are wore out.
yeah. And the more difficult the school is, the longer it is.
So even like high school, I guess you're in there all day as well. So the more,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah. You wake up really early in the morning, and you have to wear a uniform too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be uniform.
Yeah, you have to wear a suit and tie, or you have a girls. Sometimes girls look like a sailor uniform,
Oh,
or
okay.
sometimes boys wear a suit. They wear a shirt, and they wear a necktie, blazer, and pants.
So they're gearing them into their career, right? So I know
Yeah,
our
well, the
kids.
ones that that might also depend on the school because the one down the
yeah,
street from me, I've seen their uniforms and it looks like a tracksuit almost.
Oh
yeah.
wow!
But that might
That's
be summer.
that's because they have sports. When they have sports, they come home in their tracksuit and they put the uniform in their bag. And in schools, they're expensive too.
They're getting you every way they can over there.
Yeah.
And you're going to work all day, and you're going to go to school all day.
Yeah, yeah. Uniforms can cost about $500 to $600.
A piece.
Uh-huh.
Sheesh.
Kindergarten too. For a kindergarten uniform, that's the price too for a kindergarten uniform also.
$500 to $600.
Yeah.
Jeez. And
You
they got
buy,
and I know like my kids went to Catholic schools here, so
yeah.
they were in uniforms. And so do they have to use a certain location? Like this is where you get your uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they make them, or they get a size that's closer to your children's size and they make it a little bit bigger so you can take it out as they grow.
Yeah.
So yeah. And you have to buy a uniform when they go to school. You have to buy a gym uniform,
Jeez.
gym shoes, because you can't wear outdoor shoes in the schools. You have to wear gym shoes. You have to buy a hat. Some schools have a particular hat they have to wear.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have to buy backpack. Some you have to buy a particular backpack.
Now, how many kids do you have that you went through this?
3.
Oh man, so that was very expensive.
and then before the kids graduate, they have a program where they spend 3 nights and 4 days in a hotel.
What's the purpose of that?
So they can spend the time together before they graduate and leave.
Oh, okay. So it's like, yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
it's the whole senior class.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about 2,000.
Yeah, well, you're paying for the hotel, right? So
And the food. And then if you want, and then you have to give them money for the gifts, so you have to pay $700 for the gifts money too.
it's like, here's my arm. How much blood do you need today?
Yeah. And the transportation, right? Like if you have to take a train, or you have to take a bullet train, or you have to take a bus, or my daughter's case, they had to take a boat, so they had to take a ferry. And the kids who cannot pay, you pay for them.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Amanda, how long have you been over there?
We've been here, going to say, about a year and a half now.
Okay. Was it work that you wanted to, or is it just something you guys just decided, I just love the culture there, I want to move there?
No, it's my husband's in the military, so he's stationed here currently,
Oh,
and we're
okay.
hoping when he's done with his contract, we'll be restationed here, but that's going to be the needs of the Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank him for his service.
Yeah.
Irene, you know what the teachers are like?
Hmm?
What are the teachers like at the schools? Like I do have a daughter, but she goes to the military school.
Oh, they're kind of strict.
The school for the military kids, not
They're
military
kind
school.
of
Sorry.
strict. They're really strict here. Yeah, they measure the skirts, but they measure.
I
They
don't
think
think you're. From what my understanding is, that they're not allowed to wear makeup or
no,
jewelry.
no, or even earrings, or they're not allowed to dye their hair. They
Oh,
have to
wow.
wear an elastic band this
Irene, I
color.
just realized my shirt kind of matches yours.
Oh, it does. Did you guys do that
It's
on
like,
purpose?
no,
No, no,
mine's like,
Uh,
no. Yeah, it's really strict. You can't wear makeup. You can't wear even lip gloss. You can wear something like chapstick on your lips. You can do that.
yeah,
But yeah,
I love different cultures. That's
you
just
have to have
fascinating.
your hair tied back in a ponytail or in pigtails away from your face. Yeah, it's
Keep your hair away from your eyes too, right?
yeah, it's really strict. Yeah, all my kids gone through it. Yeah, my daughter went through it. My son's all, you have to have your hair cut like so. And
Irene, if your kid acts out, what are the teachers allowed to do?
oh, you get sent to the principal's office. That's
Just
it.
like here, yeah.
Yeah, you get reprimanded, and then your mother gets a phone call from school and get like, and then you get called down to school after school, and you're in big trouble.
Yeah, I remember when I was in elementary, the paddle. They would use the paddle. They would call the parents and
Yeah,
wait for the parents, and then you'd get. Oh,
no, Catholic school too. Yeah, they used to do that too.
yeah, and it's like, okay, do you want us to do it, or your mom and dad? Like, oh wait, I'm saying that I got in trouble. I did.
Never got into trouble.
Absolutely, for just
I was
talking or something.
scared. I was too scared. Those nuns are scary.
Oh, I bet so. Yeah, absolutely.
But nah.
So I have a question for you guys since you're over there. I know that I'm on your show, but I want to ask you guys a question.
Mhm.
Like, Irene, you investigate. So what are some of the best pieces of equipment that you like to use over there?
I don't use any equipment.
You have the psychic ability, you just go with that.
I just go with my ears and what I feel and
That's
what I
She's a
see.
clairvoyant, so that's also, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll go with somebody who has equipment that will verify from what I see from people who can't see. That's
So you
that.
you share, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't use anything. I don't know why. I don't think I need to. That's why I've never used anything. I had I went to Hiroshima and I used cat balls and I said, "Get rid of that." And I go, "Okay, I'll get rid of it. I put that back in my purse."
But I told her I kind of get that when you're clairvoyant and you can see and talk to them, because it'd be like if I put you here on the show, you had a cat ball in front of you, like, okay, we're gonna ask you yes or no questions. You're gonna answer, but you're also gonna tap that ball.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it doesn't work.
I mean, what's the point of this cat ball?
exactly.
So they told me I don't want those things. And I said, okay, so put them away. So much for that. You know.
Now, do you guys think that I know a lot of people over here now are making trigger objects to something that suits the location you're going. Like if you're going to a jail or a prison, they're making sure objects look like packs of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Do you think that would work? That would help?
Yes, if you have children, if you have spirits that are children, candy works really good. They like hard candy or lollipops, and older ladies like chocolate.
Oh wow. Never see, I'm afraid about taking the chocolate because I'm afraid I'd eat it in the process of investigating.
Like, this is for you, and you start slowly opening
Yeah,
it.
like that
Yeah.
smells so good.
Yeah, they like chocolate.
Yeah, I'm going to
Older,
give you 3 seconds to take it. If you're not, I'm going to eat it.
I had a friend
Paranormal is actually different here in
I had
Japan.
a
When I
friend who
first got
had,
to Japan, the
I had
first thing I did was look into if there was any paranormal teams, because I'm like, I'm gonna try and
yeah,
join. I'm
Sure.
gonna be a part of the paranormal community in Japan. I'm gonna go investigate places. And then I soon realized there is no paranormal community here in Japan.
no,
There is
yeah,
no in America and UK. There's hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands. I know in America.
thousands.
I don't know about the UK. I know the UK has a bunch too.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
It's
not any real teams here. There's not really anyone reporting. There's only like a handful of people that you can
yeah,
find
yeah,
reporting on anything paranormal in Japan. Not even just paranormal, but urban legends of Japan.
yeah,
And a lot of stay anonymous, or for whatever reason they close their DMs, because I wanted to reach out to some, but it's their
yeah.
DMs are closed, and I was like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah. They don't want anybody to know what they do.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it just an open thing over there, or is it just more hush hush?
They don't want to get canned from their job because they're into paranormal. Because it's like, why you're doing this, right? I
Exactly.
don't think it's appropriate, so we're gonna let you go. Yeah, it's a sad thing because they don't like it. They don't like.
Honestly, a lot of spirits here, I think, don't even want you bothering them. The
They don't
ones
even
No,
I've
be
seen
asking
anyways don't
questions.
want you bothering them.
no.
And that's what I tell people. Those shadow figures, why I only take a picture because they don't want me to. And I'm like, I'm not gonna upset a shadow figure. I don't know what it's gonna do to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
1 second it can be across the street, and the next second it can be right there in your face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not gonna piss off a shadow figure and find
No,
out.
not at all.
I'm
No.
like, all right, I will do whatever not upsets you. 'Cause I don't want to find out what you're gonna do if I cross your boundary and make you mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be scary. That would be
They'll
really
make you
scary.
sick too. They'll make you very sick. They'll make you very ill. They'll even kill you.
Wow.
Yeah. There are tons of young people who are like entrepreneurs, and they want to go into haunted places, and yeah. They had a video of that on YouTube, and I watched it, and my son showed it to me. He said, "Look at what happened to this guy," and he goes, and then we watched him, and then he said, "I'm gonna go to the hospital tomorrow because I don't feel good." After he went to this haunted area, and when they put him in the hospital, and the next day they put him in a casket, and they had his funeral.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful of where
That's
you.
yeah, that's a little over the edge.
You know what? You can carry your crystals. You can carry everything that you need to. You can carry obsidian, whatever you want. Rose quartz, anything you can carry. You can carry it with you. You can carry your tiger art, whatever. They'll still come after you.
That
They
doesn't
don't.
phase them.
care. They don't care. You can have a garlic around your neck. They don't care, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Irene and I found each other on social media because I was, like I said, I was determined to find anything and anyone
Hmm.
in paranormal Japan, and that's the when I kind of met Irene. And
Yeah.
I was like, I can't find any other people, and she's like, because there's not any.
Yeah. Just her and me. That's it.
It's not real. It's more of a taboo thing to talk about, and it's one of those. As someone pointed out, though, people in Japan are more superstitious than anything. They're even more superstitious over religious,
Yeah,
Really?
which I was like, that actually makes sense. And they're just, and they said like even like the more popular temples here is more based off of superstition. Like you go there to help try to find true love.
yeah. And usually what it is between spirit, they have a really freaky love hate relationship with the spirit. You respect them, you do everything to appease them, but this is my space, that's your space. I'll do what I have to do, you do whatever you have to do. Like that. That's how they do it in this
Stay in
country.
your lane. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll do everything to help you. I'll feed you, I'll give you water, burn your incense for you, I'll do everything that I have to do for you so you don't get angry with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Totally different than from over here.
Here they will tell you, oh, that's a spirit over there. But that's as far as they'll do it. That's as far as they'll go. They don't try to cross it. They don't try to help it. They don't try to do anything. They'll just leave it like that. That's the spirit. That's it.
Like, okay, we communicated. We're backing off now.
Yeah, we're done. Bye. And that's the way how my son does it too. He does the
Well,
same.
I mean,
Yeah.
since you just shared the story of the person went to the hospital, and then that same day he was in his casket. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he was only what, late 20s.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to go.
Yeah, to this
It
haunted.
is. I'm with Nancy. I mean, it's intriguing. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's if you ever get a chance to, I'll take you to my old condo. That's a SS condo. That's an unalive condo, right? It's really bad. And
So, what did you experience there?
ooh, the lady downstairs had a heart attack. The lady on the same floor as I did, the man on the same floor as I did, he died of brain cancer. He was only 36 years old. He never.
36. Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't sick when he moved in. He came out in a casket.
Do you think it's the land where the building was, Irene?
Yeah,
So it goes
yeah,
beyond the building.
yeah. And my son had a pneumothorax. We don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't do anything. And he had a hole in his lung for no reason. We rushed him to the hospital in an ambulance, and the doctor asked us what happened and why, and we said we don't know why. And the doctor goes, I don't know why either. But anyways, they hospitalized him. He got better. He came home. Yeah,
Good.
but yeah, I mean, there's no answer to what went on. There's no answer to why, and I tried to find out what happened to the land. There's no records. There's no records. Like a man
They
will
don't
tell you.
keep any records like that.
No, there is. You cannot go to the library and research a location. There's also no vital records to find out
No,
who
there's
lived there or anything or who
nothing.
died there before. It's word of mouth.
Oh,
If
okay.
they rip it up and they trashed it, right? That's what they did with it. They don't want anybody knowing what happened there because
Well, it's going to hurt them. It wouldn't be no fun because then they wouldn't rent that space out.
yeah, it was bad. Where I live, you buy to own. So you own that suite, and we got rid of it as fast as we could. it,
Wow.
it was that bad. It was that bad. Yeah, that's why we moved out. My husband, he got into financial problems because we lived there. So either you get divorced, you lose your money, it'll kill you, or like multiple questions, one of the four, right? Which one do you want?
Exactly. I think I'd just say, well, I'm going to move on.
Yeah. Well, I said, even the last time when they tried to pull us in and said, oh, you need this, oh, you need that. And it's, we had troubles with the real estate agent because, oh, you need this, oh, you need that. There's a problem with this, there's a problem with that. So we got it all fixed. We said, okay, That's fine. We're gonna move out. You don't like you can bleep, right? That's what I said to them. And so yeah, we moved out.
I don't blame you.
No, actually we ran out. We ran out. It was that bad. And yeah, 20 years plus living there. I don't know. I don't know how I did it. It was that bad. I don't know how I did
It was probably a challenge every day, especially dealing with on a mental level.
Oh yeah. Mentally,
Yeah.
I think my kids were strained. Everybody's just a second. I'll be right back.
That is so fascinating. You're in like a really cool place.
Yeah, that's what it's definitely because I started studying like the urban legends here, which I'm glad I did because it's helped me understand the culture a lot more. Like there's so many
Absolutely.
different temples, there's so many different shrines, and when I started studying like the urban legends, I
Yeah.
see some of the statues. It's not just a statue to me. I'm like, okay, I know what this is. I know what the lore is behind it. So it makes everything more interesting and intriguing. So I'm like, okay, this is what it is. I remember reading about this.
That is so cool.
And dark too behind it also.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever. And some of the temples were made, like I said, to appease the dead spirits. It's just something so they won't make them angry and won't lash out at other people.
Oh, so they build them just for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of them are extremely haunted too, so you have to watch out. We still have haunted beaches here where they just unearthed a whole bunch of bones where the samurais were fighting, and the, the the sand from the shore covered all the bones up, and they just unearthed them, and they just found them the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do they know how far back they're dated?
That's why they're going to this particular place to carbon date them, and they're doing that now. But it went back so long ago, and these beaches are really haunted too. Like yeah, they're pretty haunted.
Sounds like a place you just want to sit with a voice recorder.
Or you can take a whole bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
Take a whole bunch of pictures.
Guaranteed to get something in your photo.
Yeah, take a whole bunch of selfies. You could find whatever that's there. And especially if you read history books of places where they had really bad where they had a lot of fighting, you go there and you take a selfie on the beach. I bet you can pick up a lot of stuff too.
Wow.
That's why I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not scary, but it's cool.
They're not going to
do anything. They're not going to do anything to you, right?
No.
They're not going to hurt you. They're just walking.
They're just going to watch and observe you.
Yeah, they're just going to look at you and like, say, okay, what are you doing here? And I said,
what's this guy doing?
Yeah. I'm just taking a picture, okay?
Yeah. Is it all right if I take your photo?
Yeah. Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, beaches along the Pacific Ocean are pretty haunted. There's a temple that I go to once a year. You get cleansed, and the left side is the mountain. Right side is the mountain. Left side is the beach.
Nice.
And along that area is all pretty haunted, like really bad. And they have caves that samurai warriors have, to themselves, right?
Sure.
And yeah, you can't get in there. They put a gate around it.
Oh man. Sorry,
the one thing I will say I hate about the temples here is most of them, to get to all of it, you have to walk a lot of stairs.
I was going to say,
yeah. So if you visit it, prepare to be walking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
It's not just right off the street.
I wish it was, but a lot of them require a lot of walking.
It's like, got your hiking boots on. You ready?
or
Pretty much, yeah.
up the mountain, down in the cave, or down in a tunnel. It's like
Oh, that sounds so fun though.
You go first.
You go first. See if you make it.
We'll stand back and watch and see what happens to you. Oh, guess what? You're still on. Oh shoot. Okay, we'll go with you.
Yeah, he's there still. Let's go.
You be our guinea pig, okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be there. I'll do it.
You know, it's people say that's frightening. It is if you're not grounded, right?
Yeah, you gotta protect yourself and ground yourself.
Yeah.
You definitely got to do all that.
I would take a bandit. I know her, okay? I would take you, but I'd have to coach you first before we go in there, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not for the faint of heart either.
No.
But if you get spooked, yeah, don't run, right?
Well, and too that we always say when you get spooked, don't drop that fear that wall. Keep
because
it up.
they'll after you, and
they're on you now.
They're like a gorilla glue, right?
Oh, absolutely, they're attached.
Have fun. Bye.
Yeah. It's just go in, positive.
Yeah.
Grounded, like you said. Yeah.
An empty head, like nothing in your head, so they can't. Oh, you got that right. Okay, I got it. Like I can see that. Like the dead can see everything, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now here's a question. You know how like we got Bigfoot and stuff here. What is something known over there?
We have our version of Bigfoot is Hibagon.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with cryptids here is I swear there's at least 1,000, but the problem is we don't have any Bigfoot researchers or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes the cryptids will just be either a sentence about them or not even that. It might be just a description of what it looked like and where it was found.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's why I keep trying to encourage any Bigfoot researchers over there in America. I do recommend coming over here to Japan just because no one is doing it, so no one's going to be competing with you. The only person competing with you is any friend you bring with you, because no one else is doing it.
Exactly. Now, are they open to share their stories there, where they saw this creature, or is it really hard to get them to open up?
I guess it depends on who you also talk to, because Hibagon is located mostly in a small town. Well, it was most seen was in a small town in northern Hiroshima.
Mm-hmm.
And there is still the family who originally saw it. I don't want to say ancestors. They have family members who do tours of the area where it was seen, of different areas it was seen.
Yeah,
so I know there's that.
Yeah.
And how do you spell that?
Hibigon.
HIB. Okay, because I was just wanted to look that up.
And there are apparently, the old Japanese Godzilla movies, right?
Yeah.
They're saying that they probably existed in Japan too.
So I guess it sort of. Let me get my camera if it'll pick it up. It's just got more hair around the face.
Yeah, he's said to be only 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And we had a Bigfoot researcher on the show, and he was just like, that's usually the size of an adolescent here. And I'm like, it's only been seen as 5 foot tall. So I was like, I don't know if it's actually an adolescent.
Yeah.
Or if that's as tall as it gets here. No one's over here trying to research it to find out.
That is just, you would think people, even like over here with, has Josh Gates ever done anything over there? I don't really know.
I
like
don't know.
Expedition X, because he goes all over, and I don't know if he's been to Japan or
I don't
to
know.
do any of
I
that.
I
don't
don't
even
think
think
so.
I
There's
don't
been
knows about he be gone.
Really?
Yeah.
scientists think it might be either an animal or a person who DNA got changed with the radiation from the Hiroshima bombing. But I
Mhm.
don't. That's they say that about a lot of cryptids here in Nagasaki and up there in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where is it an animal or person whose DNA got mixed up and turned into what looks like some cryptids,
Yeah.
or is it actually some cryptids? I couldn't even tell you. That's what I'm telling people. I would definitely.
You just have to go camp out and explore
Yeah, and
yourself.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe, because I know that's what scientists are saying. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if I believe, especially because I feel like if it was a human or an animal, it would have been seen more often. But like the Bigfoot kind of just disappears. You see it, but then you don't know where it goes.
Exactly.
Like Bigfoot in America,
Yeah.
they just say they see this thing. It's 5 foot tall. They just never. But it looks like a gorilla, but it's a lot. It moves a lot quicker, and it smells like rotten flesh. That's what we basically know.
Same as the Bigfoot here, the rotten flesh. Wow.
The reason why scientists don't want to research it because you can't get funding for that, right?
Yeah.
It's weird, you're not going to get funding,
Yeah.
and the universities are not going to pay for it, and whatever big companies are not going to pay for researching that. So yeah, it's like looking for a needle in the haystack is what they call it.
Absolutely.
So it's really not one of the most popular things to research.
You're going to do it. You better just fund it on your own dime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and be careful of the spirits in the mountains because yeah,
Yeah, I have a real dear friend that lives here in Cincinnati, Jody Cook. He's been on Monster Quest, Finding Bigfoot, and all those shows,
yeah.
and he's big into the crypt. And he's invited me in the past to go to certain locations to
Mhm,
do audio while
mhm,
he does his,
mhm,
his thing in the crypt.
mhm.
And some of the stuff that I have captured on audio is just phenomenal.
Yeah,
And then I'm sitting there with audio on headphones, and I got a
yeah,
thermal imaging camera because me not doing the full crypt, but I'm still intrigued by it.
mhm,
I still say, well, what I'm hearing could be a deer, it could be a raccoon, it could be anything in the woods,
yeah,
but let me use my thermal to at least see what we're capturing. And it's fun. It's a fun thing. I enjoy it.
yeah. Um,
But here's
I
the
would,
thing though, I always say, even to him, okay, what if we see this thing?
yeah,
You're setting up a
dude,
trap, and we know the strength of these things.
yeah,
I hope somebody finds our camera when we're gone because it's going to
yeah.
kill us if it gets a hold of us.
Or some say, well, get the food out for them. I said, what? You gonna leave food out for them? Like really? Like what
No,
we say. Don't feed the wildlife, right? Meaning,
exactly. What are you going to do? Go put a pizza out on a tree?
come on.
that would get my attention as Bigfoot.
Like, hey, wait, stop there. I saw something in that tree over there. Chocolate.
Yeah, but they don't realize that you could make it sick because our food is not meant for them, right?
Exactly.
So you
And
don't
you
feed.
don't eat the same stuff we do.
No. And their metabolism is totally different, right? So yeah, you don't feed the wildlife.
Totally understand.
But people can be really. Never mind. We know that, right?
Yeah, well, I know what you was going to say.
Ooh, that's okay. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we know that too well.
It's yeah.
That's what I tell Bigfoot researchers, though. It's like, if you come here, any piece of information you find out, it's going
Yeah.
to be new and groundbreaking. There's going to be no one here to dispute anything that you found. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, if I was over there, I would be like, I'm going to have to go over there with my brother-in-law sometime and say, hey,
Sure.
I'm gonna bring like 4 deer cams. I'm gonna set up an area.
Yeah.
See what you get.
Just protect yourself because spirits can be in the mountains. They're always watching.
You
And
know, since you said that, like going back to Josh Gates, he goes all over the world,
mhm, mhm,
to find these creatures that area is known for.
yeah.
And that is one of the first things the village people tell him and his crew is to ground yourself and watch out for what you're about to come through.
Mhm.
Because they're not going to go. They're not going to go with him because their beliefs is no. I'm not going there. That's why it's on that side of the woods. I'm staying on
Sure,
this
that's
side.
how it is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to go stir it up. We're not going to go make friends with it.
No.
So
Yeah.
but it is fascinating, and to get the people to talk to you about it.
Mhm.
My full-time job is I'm in the fire industry, so I'm always going in these little towns, and one of the first things I do is I start talking like, hey, can you tell me some ghost stories? As I'm sitting there in their diner eating lunch,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, hold on, I got a person that you would love to talk to. Then they start telling me about these stories about their town or a little town outside of there, and I'm like, okay. But sometimes it's for some people though, it's a little embarrassing to talk about ghosts.
Yeah. Or sometimes young people, like here now, young people are not really. I don't know. Depends on. They have this click about it, but young people are more analytical. If their head is in the book, right? So
Absolutely.
so if they can't see it, if they can't feel it, if they can't smell it, if they can't touch it, they don't think it's real.
Exactly. It's just a folklore. It's just something that's make believe. It's
So you'll find a lot of ghost programs or anything that had to do paranormal are no longer available anymore.
so they don't even show any paranormal shows over there.
Not anymore. It used to be great on Fridays, right? Friday nights. Wow, let's watch.
Yeah, you're gonna watch a good show. Yeah.
But yeah, they're all gone. Or they do it and they all put it on TikTok because they're not going to do it. They're not going to put it on Facebook, and they're not going to put it anywhere else. That's the only place where you find the really good paranormal programs in Japan are on.
Part of the problem with that, though, too, is with the younger people, because obviously the older generation is not affected by social media compared to the younger generation.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I see the videos, obviously being over here, what comes up on my feed is a lot of the videos that they're seeing, and a lot of the videos that they're seeing from America about the paranormal are the ones that clearly fakes the evidence. Like you see the string moving, or you can tell it's a speaker that's why you hear the voice.
Or
It's
they're
like
pushing the
if this,
two-way radio to make the
yeah, I'm like if
melody.
this is
Yeah.
this is what you're getting in the paranormal, I kind of get that if that's your only real impression of it. But there is someone who also does books and stuff on urban legends here in Japan. Their DMs are closed because I tried reaching out to that person, but I did post in the comments. I asked him what, in his opinion, what is how does the Japanese view ghosts, and he just said, well, as a child, you're told ghost stories as a form of punishment. So that's also probably why they're
Oh,
less into
wow.
it. And I
Yeah,
kind of get it because Irene can tell. There's a lot of urban legends that even Irene can tell you where it involves, unless you want something to come into your house or unless you want something to come get you, you better deep clean your house.
yeah. Or like New Year's Eve, you clean your house. Uh, February the 29th, leap year, you clean your house too. Not clean it. You cleanse your house.
Really?
All you get rid of all bad energy out of your house. Because if you don't, the devil will take your children and he'll take it to the mountains and you'll never see your kid again.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's it's called Sitsaboon. We do that every year. We do that every February. So it's like a cleansing thing that we do every February, and it goes back to urban legends, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
Yeah,
when she says clean, though, especially around New Year's, the one thing I did learn is when they say clean, they mean clean, and they move everything in the apartment or house or whatever they have to clean. They'll move the stove, they'll move and if they have a
So they
washer,
so they
they'll
clean the
move the
walls and everything.
fridge just to be cleaning underneath it. Yeah, that's how much they deep clean it, or they literally move even all appliances just to be able to clean underneath it.
yeah. You
Wow.
you get rid of last year's bad energy. So this year you
Yeah,
come
it's
in.
starting a new chapter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so fascinating. And here, it's New Year's. Everybody wants to go out and celebrate. There, everybody's doing their cleansings of
yeah,
their home.
Yeah, it has to
yeah,
be done before the first, though. And then the first, you're not supposed to do anything, or it's
yeah.
bad luck.
Oh, so it's got to
It,
be like on December 30th, 31st, whatever, before
yeah,
January 1st. Wow.
and then you have to take a bath before January 1st to get rid of your bad your 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 bad, you have to cleanse your body and get rid of all the bad energy and dirt. Yeah. So you
Totally.
bring in the new year. Yeah. The only time when you don't celebrate New Year's is when a family member has died in your house. You're not supposed to celebrate New Year's. No. You
If
just
someone had died in your house, you do not celebrate.
yeah, like if your father died or if your mother died or if
Yeah.
your child died, you don't celebrate New Year's.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You can celebrate Christmas, but you don't celebrate New Year's.
Hmm.
You're
You just
also supposed to eat soba noodles.
mm-hmm.
Is it at
Buckwheat
midnight?
noodles. Yeah. So
It's
I'm up
supposed to
cooking all
represent.
night.
It's supposed to represent longevity of life.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then
Just the
I'm
way
up.
they look.
Yeah. And I cook for 3 days prior New Year's, so everyone has a big New Year's feast on the 1st of January.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So, but the thing is, okay, so that food is though,
yeah,
you're doing the cleaning in the end of December, so the food is still good to eat on January 1st?
yeah.
Or wow.
I think
The,
for my, Irene, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe it also depends on your region of Japan and what you eat, because different foods represent different things.
yeah,
Oh,
and longevity, life. Uh, eat certain things for it cleansing your body. Certain things for um if you can't have children, there's certain foods that help you so you can have children. Uh, crazy
so
stuff
eat
like
it on
that.
January 1st, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's
maybe you may have a child that year.
yeah. If you eat this, it's good for so
Like
you
I
can
said,
have
Japan is mostly superstitious. It's
yeah,
probably one of the most superstitious countries out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
From the
that's
time you wake up, from the time you wake up, from the time you go to bed, you practice whatever, right? Like
yeah.
you don't you're very careful what you do when you wake up, and you're very careful about what you do before you go to bed.
So you can start your new day.
Yeah, and you don't look at your mirror after midnight.
No, I've heard that. Yeah. Don't,
Yeah,
because you're looking at the past because you're moving into a new day.
because it could bring a cryptid into your house. That's why.
Really?
Yeah.
However, here in Japan, we don't have decorative mirrors.
No.
Mirrors are only going to be found in the house mostly it's over where you brush your teeth. Sometimes that's also where you take a bath.
Yeah.
Noreen can tell you over where she is in Tokyo, She has one where she brushes her teeth and one over her bath. Everywhere I've been down here in Nagasaki, it's more country. It's only where you brush your teeth. There's not one in the bathroom
Oh wow.
or where you take a bath at.
Where you sit in your living room, you cannot see the mirror where you were above the sink. It's blocked off, so you can't look at it. They have a big wall, so I can't see the mirror
Fascinating.
when I'm in the living room. And when you're in the living room, you're not supposed to have any mirrors at all in your room.
Yeah, because that, like here, when we investigate, that's one of the things we look at to see if another mirror is facing the mirror.
Exactly. Especially the mirrors in the bathroom is one of the first ones that I look at. See if there's anything there, because they like to hang around in the bathroom and they like to hang around in the bed. Yeah,
it's like, leave me alone. That's my personal space.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I do residential. So that's the first place where I look at
is the restroom, the mirror.
Yeah,
I get it.
Because they usually like hanging out there.
Yeah, because they love the energy. They love the mirror. So
yeah, and they come in and out and they go wherever they want through the mirrors. So yeah.
So that was one of my questions. Is like mirrors. So that you answered that. That's just wow.
Yeah. We have one mirror that's in the entrance hall where you take off your shoes and you come in the house. You have a place where you put your shoes. You're not supposed to wear your shoes in the house either.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because
that's in our lease. That's a
Yeah.
Japanese lease. Is you will not wear shoes in the house. They can only be at the entrance.
Yeah.
Now,
So
what is the meaning behind that?
One,
cleanliness.
The dirt, you don't want to track in the dirt. And the other one is you can bring a cryptid in when you do that.
From something outside, you're bringing it into the home.
Yeah, because they love that.
Wow.
Just like when you open up your umbrella in your house.
Yeah. That's a no-no.
Yeah, you bring cryptid in your house. Yeah.
I know I try so hard when you get carpets shampooed here, you get brand new carpet, you try so hard by putting a sign on your front door saying, hey, please leave, take your shoes off. That only lasts for a week.
Yeah, here it's a no-no.
That is so cool.
That's why they have outdoor shoes and indoor shoes at schools too. You can't wear your outdoor shoes inside.
That's when you put on your
That's when you put on your gym shoes when you wear going inside. Yeah. They're just and you know what? It's really funny because some of the schools are kind of old and they're haunted too. In Japan.
I bet they are. I bet you there's a lot of great history in those locations over there.
Yeah, it's just crazy. The only problem is you need permission to get inside the school because you're not allowed to go in school.
You're not just allowed. Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, I just.
Yeah, I'm a paranormal investigator. I like to visit the school.
And they're doing this to you, like, get out.
Yeah, they'll tell you, like, where you can go, right? They go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trespassing here, because a lot of people ask me how come I just don't try and explore the abandoned places. Trespassing here is, and I've looked this up, it's not a fine. It is 3 years in jail if you're caught. I'm like, yeah, no, I want to be here in Japan longer, but I don't want to do it being in jail. So
I don't want to be in no jail. No.
I don't know. Just don't get. I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna risk me getting caught and thrown in jail.
They're getting the point across. Here, it's like a smack on the hand and a fine.
Either don't do it again or fine. I'm like, it's not that here.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, first of all, even it was a fine. Usually fines start off at least a couple grand in US dollars.
Yeah.
But also trespassing, when I looked it up, it says it is your first offense.
Yeah.
Is 3 years jail. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I am good. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna walk. I'm not gonna walk through there.
Yeah, no, I'm like, nah, I'll eventually get caught. I don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
I'm the person that would get caught. The fat boy running. Yep, get him.
At the same time, I'm like, they kind of already look at me being a foreigner here, so they're gonna see me walk into an abandoned building. Trust me.
They're gonna spot you out and be like, "Get her."
That's what I said. I'm like, trust me, they're gonna know. Someone's gonna somehow see me somewhere. That's the one thing. Like, Japan is also basically like their own community watch, where someone will always see you. Even if you don't think someone sees you do something, someone did.
They're watching.
Yeah.
That's one thing they told us is the locals are always watching.
Yeah.
So even if you think you got away with it, someone saw you and they're gonna be reporting you. I was like, yeah, they're gonna see me walking this abandoned building. I already know they're gonna be reporting me, and there's
Yeah, and then there goes three years in jail.
yeah, like, I am not spending 3 years in jail.
No.
That's why we always say go to the local police department. Tell them where you're gonna go. Tell them how long you're gonna be there. Tell them how many people are going with you in your party, and just do that. Just to be courteous and do that, so that you can go there, and you won't get into trouble. Right? Yeah.
Well, it might be different you
That's
asking than me, because they're just gonna see me. But can I go into this abandoned building? And they're just like, this is a little suspicious.
Yeah, they're gonna say, what does she want to do that for?
That's why I say you got to come with me. That's why I say you got to go with me, because
Yeah, go with Irene. She'll get you in there.
We'll get you in there. That's gonna be that bad.
Yeah, because we look like sore thumbs, being foreign and going and down that. We're going to be arrested.
Yeah.
And then Irene's like, well, if you just listened.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Like when I do a place, I'm really strict. Like, no, you got to do it my way or the highway, and that's it. I'm gonna kick you out.
Because you know the consequences if something happens. So
not just that, I know what spirit is going to be bad, and I know what spirit isn't going to be bad, and I know what spirit is very dangerous too. Like I could just, they just give us this. The hair on your arms start going up, the hair on your back goes zing, and you go, yeah, not gonna do that one.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
No, let's do the other one.
Exactly.
But you can't go into place, right? As long as you don't look at them, they won't bother you. If you just ignore it, and do whatever you want to do, and get whatever EVPs you want, that's fine. And then do you about your business. You don't bug them, they don't bug you.
But we want to bug them here. It's like that's why we came in here for, is we just want to communicate with you. But there, it's totally opposite.
Yeah, there are some that you can talk to. There's some that you can't talk to. It's funny, because going up to certain haunted places, there's one highway. Okay, we call it freeway. You can call it freeway. They all lead up to every haunted spot. It's just one road. It's really, I don't know why they did that, but the temples or the certain places, like going all the way there, you can go all the way up to the suicide forest using that one road.
Wow. And
it's like, next one there's the suicide waterfall. Next one there's the sunrise gravestone, the sunrise grave. You can go there. That's haunted too, because he didn't want to die, or else he was killed, or one or the other, right?
Sure.
You can go there, and it's all leading up to there. So you just got one path. You don't have to deviate your route.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the last part is the suicide forest, where you'll wind up if you want to go there, right? Yeah. It's just really, I don't know why. It's just made that way. It's just really weird, right?
That is strange.
yeah, yeah. I thought about it, right? I said, and I looked at the road map where you can drive to go there. I said, go straight and you're there. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. I thought.
Yeah, there's no like veer to the right or to the left. It's just straight.
Yeah,
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 that's wow.
yeah.
Jeez.
And the only thing, you know, it's like, yeah, you're not going to go into suicide forest. You're just going to stand here, right here at the edge. We're going to do this. Our investigation right here. I
Yeah,
don't advise you to go
we're
in
gonna do
this.
it right here. We're not going no farther.
No, no, no. You can walk a little ways, but that's about it. That's as far as I'll say you can do it. And you bring incense, you bring water, you bring sake, you bring whatever you need to bring. You bring your candles, yeah, and you pray for them, and that's about it. And then you go home.
And you go home. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's just crazy. It's a different way of life.
It
Like
is. It is. You're right. It's a totally different way of life than
it's. I mean, you can't get freaked out when you see something because you will be running trouble. On my side, we have a lot of because the yen is done a nosedive. I think I wrote a post about it. There's a lot of people that's gonna unalive themselves, and they do jump in front of the train, the moving train, and it's pretty bad. And yeah, the train stations are really haunted too. They advise you not to go there after 3 o'clock. 3 a.m. is the last train, and they open up at 5. But don't go there after night, after light, after late. They said
yeah.
not to do that, and be careful which train you go on because you could see the reflection of the dead person on the train
Really?
window. Yeah, and they say certain stations are more haunted than others.
That's crazy.
It's yeah, it's sad, but it's crazy. But they have a reason why they do that. And Amanda will tell you why they do that.
Yeah, there's a
Tell them
lot of
why, Amanda.
spirits, especially around Irene. Irene,
Mm-hmm.
one thing about Japan is funny is down here, I had more cryptids than she does. I have more of the tragic death spirits. Irene in Tokyo has more of the ones who unalive themselves. And a lot of the reasons why there's a lot of spirits here that kind of unalive themselves is obviously it's mostly like a Shinto or Buddhist religion here in Japan. Buddhism being like the highest over here in Japan religion. And the Buddhists believe that if you're not happy in this life, you're allowed to relieve your pain, basically keep it social media friendly, and try again in
Mm-hmm.
next life. There
Okay.
is no there's no psychiatrist here, so there's nowhere to really turn for mental health. So, because like I said, they believe if you can just go ahead and try again in the next life if you're not happy for whatever
Yeah.
reason it is,
Wow, that is interesting. So jump in front of the train.
Yeah.
or jump off a building or wherever.
Yeah. It's
Because
more
guns are
prominent.
you can't get guns here, so it's not like they can
No,
do it that way.
it's more prominent here. It's it's see, Tokyo's the most haunted city in all of Japan, aside from Okinawa.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Okinawa I heard is most haunted place in Japan, but that's
Yeah.
pretty much like it. That's
Yeah.
Okinawa is Japan's version of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You have the soldiers, the American soldiers there. You have the American base there, and you have a lot of tragedy. A lot of wars were fought in Okinawa too, on the beaches and wherever, and in the caves. Yeah, it's the most
How
creepiest
far
haunted.
away are those two apart?
It's 1 hour from where she lives
Okay, 1
by
hour.
by
plane,
airplane.
yeah.
Yeah, It's like a couple hours from where I live. It takes a little while to get there.
Okay. Okay.
It takes 2 hours for me and takes 1 hour for her. So yeah, I mean,
Now, do you guys ever like get together to do anything or
Not yet.
not yet?
we're planning in October.
Okay.
We're planning to do that in October. I've already pasted out a schedule what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a road trip.
Yeah, a nice little road trip. Yeah.
It's gonna be some of the most weirdest haunted places we're thinking of going, and I'm thinking about doing some of the stuff that's people don't know because it could be. Yeah, you don't know, but it is bad too. You know, they're all crazy haunted, right? Yeah, let's do that too while we're at it.
So it's just going to be you two, or is there going to be others?
We're thinking three,
Three. Okay.
Amanda, right?
I'm
Three
not
guys.
sure on that.
Yeah, three guys and us two. Yeah. So
That'd
yeah,
be fun.
yeah. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy road.
Oh, that's so great.
And then we're gonna take a plane ride to where Amanda is, and we're gonna go there, and we're gonna stay a couple places there too. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because her side is totally different. It's kind of old and yeah. Little
Yeah.
islands can be. They have a lot of hidden old things, old places that people don't know where she lives, and it's a little bit different. It has nothing to do with the war. It has nothing to do with the atomic bomb, but it's just haunted, right? It's just
Jeez.
different. It's a different vibe than here.
Oh, and I'm sure it's like totally you can feel it when you're there.
Yeah, like for us, you don't have to go far to see anything haunted. You don't have to pay anything to see anything
So you
haunted.
can't
Just
pay to
go.
see anything haunted. They
No,
don't do that here. I cannot book a private place for investigation.
you
So
just
I
go at your
mean,
front door. You
well,
go
you
at
have
your
to go
front door.
to like a public, basically a public park. You can, but at the same time, unfortunately, it's harder to do it that way because it's a public park. So even if you do have equipment, there's so many variables that can be interfering with the equipment. So that's why I don't even try because it's one of those things where if let's say I recorded a voice, well, I'm in a public park. So how do I? And even if I say, well, I didn't see anyone, doesn't mean anything because it's a public park. Maybe I just didn't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, there are some public parks that people will not go to either. The locals will not go to. So
To
you'll
some of
be,
the public parks, really?
yeah. Some of the stuff happened there a long time ago. And what they did was they turned it into a park, right?
Yeah. Trying to make it
Yes.
a
Guess
nice
what?
thing, right?
Guess what, right?
Yeah, they're still going to be there.
Yeah. They have lots of hospitals that they tore down that they turned into public park.
Well, yeah, there's your problem.
Guess
I don't know who my child's talking to over there.
what?
Talking to someone. I can't see them.
Yeah, the kids will not. The kids will look at it and run. Like there are lots of parks around here that they thought that the kids will like, but there's lots of parks here that the kids will not go to. They'd
Really?
rather stay in their house and play their PS5 instead of going into that
Yeah,
over
I
there.
bet. That old park over there that used to be a
Mm,
hospital.
yeah, yeah. The ones that I went to, they tore down. They're demolishing it. They're making it into a park, right?
Yeah. And they're not, and they're not doing anything like on the paranormal side. They're not, are they cleansing that property? Or are they just like, nope, we're just going to knock it down and we're going to turn it into a park?
Yeah.
I don't even know if we have anyone here in Japan that
They
does
could do
cleansings
that.
though.
No.
I was gonna say I don't. It's not like you can contact the church and get a cleanse. It's not like that here.
No. 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 There is.
Don't ask me why. I don't really know why there's no one in Japan you can contact for a cleansing.
Yeah.
There. If you build an apartment before you do that, you can get it blessed. It's a simple blessing, but it doesn't mean that it's going to work right.
Exactly. That may work for a day or two, but that doesn't guarantee you anything.
No, because underneath that soil is tainted, right? So when you build something on top of a tainted soil, well, guess what, right?
Yeah.
You get whatever comes out is going to come out, not necessarily come after you, because they're going to walk in and out of your walls, and you go, oh God, what did I just buy, right?
Exactly. Like who was that just went through my wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't call nobody.
That's good, Josh.
Yeah. It's just
great news.
But you see, you need a clairvoyant to buy a condo or to buy a house. I'm glad I had my son with me. I said,
I was gonna say there's no open clairvoyance here.
Yeah. So you have to have somebody in the house who knows, who could see things. And my son was one of them. And he said, buy this house. This house was clean. I go, okay, I'll buy this house. Yeah. So yeah, I literally need one to rent an apartment or to buy a house. Because nothing may happen the first 2 days, but the week or the 2 weeks or the 1 month, yeah, you can't get out of your lease, right?
No.
And it can be really frightening, because you'll have something knock on the doors and go, oh God, please no. Like, I'm gonna go to bed, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Now, has your son had the ability his whole life?
Yeah. He's worse than me.
Oh, really? How old is he?
28.
28. Yeah, he's got his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah. And he works in senior citizens home.
Yeah.
There are 2 stages. One is you can still function. The other one is you're no longer functioning, right? That's the place where he works at.
Oh, and that's having that ability too has got to be the hard day, you know?
I asked him, are you sure you're going to work there? He goes, yeah. I go,
yeah, I'm going to do it.
yeah. He's still working there.
So he's enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's stuck in the kitchen, so he's making their meals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's not really like out there with them all the time.
No. Sometimes he has to, but not all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, going around and handing out the meals, but not all the time.
No. He said, I'd rather be stuck in the kitchen instead of.
Yeah, out there on the other side of the wall.
He said, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those places, right? Oh well, what the heck. What is your worst place that you've ever been to?
My worst place that I've ever been to for a lot of activity, I would have to say it was Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was probably the worst. We went there to investigate the location. I used to do a weekly TV series for a local town here near me for their TV station. And so we had our own little show that we would do weekly. And then, so I rented out Waverly Hills and they wanted to go. So it's like, oh, this was going to be a really good episode. And I'm like, yeah, we can. So what we did is we took an old wheelchair, doctor's outfit, a nurse's outfit, patients, clothing, and we reenacted. And that right there caused a huge typhoon in that building to where, the temperature was changing. The guy with the camera from the TV studio, I'm in the wheelchair as the patient, and I've got equipment sitting on my lap, and I've got the nurse wheeling me around, and the doctor's in the surgery room, which was one of my friends, and he goes, "Do you hear that? You could literally hear with your ears, screaming, coughing because of the tuberculosis. It was just really bad." And the lady that actually ran the place that was there that night, she was down in the laundry room where our base was, and she called on the two-way radio, and she said, "Are you guys okay up there?" And I didn't answer her because we're capturing all this going on around us. And then when we stopped, she was there. She came up there. She goes, "The lights flickered in the laundry room. Something told me I had to come and check on you guys." So we explained what we were doing, and I was like, "Yeah." So just like he had mentioned, reenactment is good. You will bring things out.
Oh yeah.
But what I do a little different when I investigate. I don't go in just because I hear the story. That's not me. I go in. I want to know the person on a personal level. Because if let's just use Waverly Hills as an example. People are in there 7 days a week.
Yeah.
They're going in and asking the same questions over and over and over.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I've heard that from other investigators. They stopped doing the whole same questions that most people do, just because, as you stated, they're answering that 7 days a week, to the point where that's sometimes why you might not get any activity. Is maybe sometimes they're okay with answering that, but other than that, there's gonna be some nights where they're like, "Oh, this question for the 100th time in a row."
Yeah. They're not gonna want to answer you at all. They're just, "Oh, another boring person," right?
Exactly. Here we go again with the same damn questions.
What's your name? How old are you?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, they said they're so used to everyone ask that, so that they're just like, when they're being asked that same questions over and over again each night. After a while, like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, we were at a location just past week in Indiana called Whispers Estate, and we knew there was a little girl named Rachel there. So of course everybody goes in and they're asking, "Oh, what happened to you?" Because they know she passed away in that room. So I'm not asking those questions. I'm asking simple things like, "What did you like to do, as a hobby?" Explain, I took Boo Buddy. I took all these little, and I was like, I'm just want to share my teddy bear with you. And, I'm trying to get to know this child, because I've lost 2 kids. My son passing away got me into the paranormal. And my daughter was born in 2000, and she passed away at 5 years old in 2005. So me helping people is very therapeutic to me. It helps me grieve, especially around their birthdays. Like my son's birthday's coming up here in 8 days. So
your daughter's right here.
Oh, really?
Your son's right here too.
And everybody, and that's Irene, that you say that. A lot of people will tell me that they're always with me.
Yeah, because when you talk about them, they can hear you. They come in and they know that that's you, that their father. They say, "Oh, he's talking about us. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's watch." That's what they hear.
And that's why they're right there.
Yeah.
And so it happens at this time of the year, and she was born in December. So, and he had hypoplastic left heart. She was born with what they call imperforated anus, where they had to reconstruct everything. So she had a colostomy bag on and stuff. And they reconstructed everything as she got older. But then they wanted to go in and remove like 85% of her colon, because she was getting a lot of urinary tract infections and things like that. And then she got out of the hospital on a Friday, and then
Mhm.
Monday she passed away. So, and then, all through those years, I always, when I go to bed, I pray, and I always pray, like, I want to just know if my kids are okay. I just want a sign. So we used to do a podcast, and this was back in 2016.
Mhm.
It was a dream, but it felt so real that I went to the kitchen to get something to drink. And as I was turning out of the living room to go into the dining room, I noticed the light was on. And there was this
Mhm.
boy's back sitting at the table, and I could see it. And he was talking to somebody, and I couldn't see the person, but I could hear a young lady's voice.
Mhm.
And I'm like, who is this? So as I'm walking around, they're just talking about me.
Yeah.
And when I stopped in between them, they made eye contact with me. And
Mhm.
as soon as the eye contact happened, I felt these cold arms come around me.
Mhm.
And literally, like, I about fell, but I was lifted up. And in my left ear, put my hand on a Bible. This was
Mhm.
February 5th,
Mhm.
2016. The voice told me, "Here is your sign."
Mhm. Yeah.
And I saw them at what last night I was on a podcast, and they asked me, I brought that up because the one of the questions was, do you think people stay in the time they were when they passed? No, I saw my kids older,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I knew who they were, and as soon as we made eye contact.
Yeah.
So yeah, so helping others is very therapeutic to me. After my daughter did pass away, I did, because I'm Baptist, I did go to um, talk to the preacher, and I was like, he knew that I did paranormal, but he knew I did it in a good way. He
Yeah.
loved hearing the stories, but I said maybe I need to back away from paranormal because of all this tragedy going on around me.
Mm-mm.
And he goes, no, 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 no. You keep doing what you're doing because you're bringing the light into these people.
Mhm.
Needs it.
Yeah.
So, there for a while, we was investigating. I got a divorce in '06 after my daughter passed away. And I was investigating almost every night through the week and weekend. I was all over the place. I did majority of residentials. I work with Jason Hall's the Taps family for ghost hunters for
Mhm.
Ohio. So we're always busy. Um, and then just recently, I just started I want to go explore locations because I'm always helping others. I just want to go see what we get at a haunted location. So yeah, so I thought, oh, I'm going to have to step away from paranormal. And just like you said, oh, your kids are always here. And so I know my spirit guides, they got my back.
Did your daughter like apple juice?
Oh, loved it.
Yeah, she's saying I want some apple juice.
And cottage cheese.
Did she like pie?
She loved anything sweet.
She wants pie. She's saying I want pie and I want apple juice.
Yeah, she did. She liked,
That's what she's saying.
and she loved the really like crushed ice in her drinks. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
so she liked it cold. Yeah.
She's saying I want some pie and I want some apple juice. She's saying to me.
Yeah, my mom would always make like different cakes and pies,
Yeah.
and she loved it. She went through when she had the imperforated anus. She actually went through 53 inpatient and outpatient surgeries.
Mhm.
So the poor little girl went through a lot. So when
Yeah.
I go to the doctor or I have a small procedure, I'm always laying there. I'm nervous, I'm scared, but I'm like, you know
Mhm.
what? My daughter did this almost like all the time.
Yeah.
So if she can do it, I can do it.
She's saying, "Don't worry, I'm okay. You just keep on doing what you want, do what you're doing. You'll be
Yeah,
okay." Your son is more reserved.
he is. Yeah, I've got that
He's
several times.
he's like this, watching.
Yeah.
He's not willing to talking a lot.
No, because my daughter was the one that did a lot of talking.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely missed. Her name was Caitlin and his name was Austin. So yeah, when we go out and do investigations, I really put my heart and soul to help the family because from grounding them, protection of the home, I don't want to see them have to go through any tragedy or anything like that. And I wear myself out when I'm done investigating. It's job, and I tell people, oh, I want to do what you do. And I'm like, well, it's not just going into a place and seeing if you can capture a ghost. There's a lot of work to that, especially when you're helping somebody.
It's a lot of patience. It's a lot of sit around waiting. A lot of people don't realize that because I did a lot of those public ghost hunt events back in the United States.
Yeah, and think of all of you're doing audio, you're doing video. You've got to go over all of that again. So not just the 6-8 hours that you're there, you've got a lot more to go through. Then you got to come back and give a reveal to the client. And I got files and files that I keep. If they need me, they know to call. They know to shoot an email. Yeah, so that's a lot. And I'm like, well, you got to be, like you said, man, you got to be patient. It's like fishing. You're not going to catch that big fish just by throwing a worm in the water.
No.
It's like I, as an experienced paranormal investigator, those public ghost hunts, that's why I have mixed feelings on them. Just because it's good, they're great for newcomers, especially because usually the group who holds them has equipment for people who's never used equipment. This way they can see how it works, decide if is this something that they want, which is terrific. You should do that instead of buying a bunch of ghost hunting equipment because you saw it on TV. But you definitely do. I also recommend doing that for newer ones, just because it also gives you a chance for you to actually determine, is this for me or not? Unfortunately, me, on the other side of the reason why I have mixed emotions on that is because someone who's already experienced it, I already know how to use my equipment. I already know if I, like doing it. I already know what to expect. I didn't like it just because like the new ones who went in there with the expectations of what they saw on TV, and then they got bored because it's not what they saw on TV. Then unfortunately, I've been to so many, and this is also why this is going into why I'm not really. I've mixed emotions on it is because I've been on so many that a lot of people are just like, you know what? I realize this isn't for me. I just want to be done with this now, and it might not even be an hour in yet, and they're like, really, you just sit around and wait and hoping something answers you? You're hoping something happens. It doesn't just, I don't just walk in and say, are you here? It doesn't immediately answer me. So then they get bored and they want to quit. And because a lot of them want to quit, they're just like, we're going to have to end this early. Which sucks for me. I was prepared and excited to be there the whole entire time.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be hanging out.
That's me. And unfortunately, they're like, yeah, well, the rest of the group is just like, I'm bored, I'm done.
Yeah, we've had that, and you done it. So, when you're teaching these people this new stuff and you're like, okay, we're going to turn the lights out and we're just going to sit for a while to get focused into the building, hear your surroundings, and just see what happens. Yeah. It's a lot of patience. And then, like you say, they get like, well, they start whispering to each other. And I'm like, you can't whisper because we've got recorders going and I'm going to hear this and I'm going to think I caught something. If your belly growls, please let us know.
Yeah, there was someone, we've had someone on the podcast who owns a haunted location. Usually they're in their office letting the teams do whatever, they have cameras. But he says anytime I have to go to the bathroom, I announce, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm just going to the bathroom. I'm walking now. This way, if you pull the,
yeah, he can walk by and record
later. You can't be like, oh my God, I heard a noise, a door shut, and there's footsteps. And it's just him.
Yeah.
He's like, yep, just me. I'm going to the bathroom. He's like, okay, I'm finished in the bathroom. Heading back to the office now. Okay, shutting the office door. This way you can debunk. All right, that door closed. It's just him.
Absolutely.
A lot of people want the the medium part of it. They want the gift, and I said, no, you don't.
No, because they wouldn't even know how to shut it off.
No.
Yeah, it
What's not just that is, for me, when I first see them, I see them how they died. So if you died in
yeah,
an accident or you died bloody, unfortunately, that's how I first see you.
Yeah.
That's how I
And
know
see,
you died.
you don't want that.
That's what I tell people. I'm like, you don't understand how gory that is. Like
yeah,
I saw a war veteran who passed away in battle, and that obviously that's not pleasant to see. I remember
No.
no,
driving down the road. Luckily, there was no one behind me because on the side of the street, I saw this person had to have died in a car accident, and he got smashed and mangled. I saw that on the side of the road, and I of course slammed on my brakes because I thought because my brain just saw mangled person. So when I looked over,
no,
I'm like, oh, okay, it's just a spirit. Luckily, like I said, there was no one behind me
yeah,
to have affected me slamming my brakes, but that's how I saw it. I'm like, it's pretty gruesome and gory.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And also, there are a lot of secrets that go with it that you cannot tell a person. You can't. I will. If I get dip into more things, I will not be able to tell you a lot of things that your daughter may tell me. I
Sure.
could not tell you, and I won't. There's some people that do, but if you do that, yeah, bad things will happen to you because you did say it, so you don't talk about
Exactly.
it. And yeah, I know a lot of things that happen to a lot of people. I cannot tell. For the love of God, for me, I will not tell, and I just won't go there. And it's really hard. You want to, but it's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. It's just way too heavy and way too much information that you don't want to tell anybody.
Oh, I bet
And
so.
so I can't, and I won't, and I don't. And people say, why not? You should. I said, yeah, this is responsibility for me because I can, they know I can keep it secret. That's why I won't tell them.
Sure.
I'm also not going to tell you if I feel like it's going to hurt you. Like someone's
Yeah,
grandmother
oh
passed
yeah,
away,
oh yeah.
and the grandmother just like when I died, I questioned if my family loved me because they never
Mm,
visited me or called me. Am I going to tell you that? No, because is it
Exactly.
going to do is it going
Why
to
do you
do
want to
you
know
any
that?
good? Well, that's
Absolutely
what I'm
not.
saying. There's a lot of people like, well, I still tell them if that's what they told me. I'm like, I don't because that's not going to do you any good.
no,
I'm not going to let you live with the guilt the rest of your life.
Exactly.
She's happy
or it
now.
could cause a fight in the family. You don't want to do that,
That is very true.
and
And
that
you
could
don't want to stir up anything.
no,
Hmm.
no.
So you're just going to tell them the good stuff.
Hmm.
Stuff
Yeah.
they'll know. You don't want, like, you say you see them when they're, you don't want to explain to them, well, what do they look like? What you seeing? And you're like,
Oh,
you
no,
really want to know?
oh, yeah.
You don't want to know.
No, no, no.
No, not at all.
The bad thing about it, for me, I don't like going outside. I won't go outside anymore. I can't.
Really.
It's it's that bad because if I go outside, I know what's there, there, and there, and there. I go. Mm-mm. I just don't want to go out alone anymore because I just can't stand it. It just, ugh, like ugh. So I stay inside, and I let my kids go to the grocery store for me and pick up something that I need for supper to make supper with. I just, it's a break.
You just try to keep away from that.
Yeah, Tokyo's a really nice place to live. It's easy to live. You got everything at your fingers. You got everything around. You got everything. You can go anywhere. It's so convenient. On the other side, it's just pretty. Yeah, it's
For
dark.
you, it's like, yeah, you're like, no.
I gotta muster up some. I gotta muster up a lot of courage to go outside because I won't go. I won't go. I won't go. I'm not depressed. It's just I try to avoid.
She's tired of seeing what she sees kind of outside. Like
Yeah, it would.
they already bother her as it is.
It's hard enough as it is when you can see it. It's worse when they start following you because you can see them because they know you can see them. You go, no, walk straight. Like no, not doing that. Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful city to live in, right? There's a lot of great places. There's a lot of great stores. There's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of beautiful sceneries. A lot of beautiful places you can go to. It's just that, along with that, there's a lot of dark things too that happen when if you're not aware of it, you're good. If you are aware of it, it's bad. That's all. And it can be crazy. Yeah, because it's so old and so tragic and so weird. Like I'd be able to go where Amanda is because it's different. It's a different view. For me, it's it'd be easier on her side than here.
Sure. Have you ever thought about moving out, like where she's at, like the country area?
Uh-uh.
No.
I'm a city person.
Her
Oh, okay.
husband used to live out here, so he knows what it's like.
Yeah, my husband grew up not too far away from where Amanda lives.
And you're more of the city
Hmm.
type. Got to be in the city. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't get my peanut butter unless I live in the city.
That's there you go.
Well, yeah, she has access to obviously different stuff than I do, and that's why when I talk about Japan, I compare it from my side versus her side, just because mine is more country and elder. So compared to
Yeah.
her, we're probably a mixture of ages and obviously a big city.
Yeah. So it's like being back here in the States.
Yeah.
Everything is there.
Yeah. And you could just do this, you get it right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just right there. If you want to go out and, you don't have far to go to get whatever you're needing.
Yeah, and I get my groceries delivered every Wednesday, so I don't have to go.
We don't have delivery services. Like, we don't even have Uber Eats here.
Yeah.
You can order Domino's, have it delivered, and that's it.
So you have to literally go get it. And
Yeah.
how far away is everything for you, though?
It'd be like a 10 or 15-minute drive, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But you don't have the convenience of just being able to order food unless you're ordering Domino's. Literally Domino's, and that's it. No other
Yeah.
pizza place.
Yeah.
Just the Domino's.
Just
Yeah.
Domino's, yeah.
When I was in Austria visiting our son, we went into a McDonald's and you can order a beer there, and I just thought, oh, this is so cool. This is very cool.
You can't order beer here.
Really?
No, not at McDonald's. No, you can't. Nah, because
Now, however, yeah, McDonald's, no. However, if you find, we don't have it here, but when I was in, and I'm assuming somewhere in Tokyo, someplace in Tokyo they have them because Osaka had them. It's called First Kitchen, which is the equivalent, which is what Wendy's is in the United States.
Okay.
Wendy's is just called First Kitchen here. I don't know why. It just is. You
First
can
Kitchen.
buy floats. You cannot get a Frosty, which I missed. But you can buy floats, and you can also buy beer.
Tokyo, I haven't seen beer in Tokyo in a Wendy's or in a yeah, I haven't seen that here. Or in McDonald's, I haven't seen that here. They don't have that here, but you can get beer at a convenience store.
Now, what's the age?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's just not well advertised because I know because we went to a few First Kitchens in Osaka, every single one you can order beer. It's on the menu. It's not like advertised though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just on the menus. That's how it was in Austria. It was just on the menu. You couldn't. I wasn't like signs on the walls and saying this is sold.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe they do, Irene, but you have to actually press that
Yeah.
beer section on the menu.
Yeah. How old are you able to drink beer there?
20 is
21.
So
20
it's like here.
20. No, it's
Yeah.
20 is the drinking age here.
Yeah. And you can't smoke unless you're 20 years old either.
There's not a lot of places to smoke though, because you can't just smoke anywhere outdoors. There's only certain designated
Yeah.
areas, just so you're not bothering people with the smoke. However,
Yeah.
I've not seen a lot of designated areas. So it's one of those things. There's not even worth being a smoker here to me, because you'd have to really put the effort in to find those designated areas.
It's like, forget it. I don't need it.
You can buy actually any convenience store sells beer and liquor, hard liquor too. You can buy that also. But you have to tap when you go and pay for it. You have to tap on the thing saying that you're over a certain age.
It'll ask, you're over
You're
that
over
age.
20.
Yeah, yeah. They require you to say, "Are you this certain age?" Yes. You just have to say yes, and when you tap on it with your finger, you automatically can buy it. But yeah, it's a little bit different in this country because they really check you out if you're of age.
Yeah, if you're right around there, I'm sure they scope you down.
Yeah, most definitely.
I know in Austria, you can just go into any like little store. And I think beer, you can be 14 and up to drink a beer.
Wow.
You can walk out with a beer and open it up. And yeah, the cultures are just so different everywhere. Just fascinating.
It's
Has there ever been any place you've investigated that you wouldn't want to go back to due to like it being too scary?
No, I've never had that happen. I'm always intrigued to go back. There is a place that I'm wanting to go back. It's Camp Wildcat Battlefields in London, Kentucky. I had an experience there. We did an event there 2 years ago, and we're going back this fall to do another event with the tourism group.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing a battle, the Civil War reenactment down on the bottom of the mountain. And so we were talking to a bunch of the people that do the reenactment. And so a lady and her husband and her two kids actually came up that night to the battlefield, and their garment, and the son had a muzzle, a true Civil War muzzle loader.
Wow.
And we walked today's path, and then you can see over in the woods where they try to keep it just the same back in the Civil War. Well, I went to set a REM pod on that area, and as I'm coming back, I just started feeling like, this upset stomach, like, okay, I think I need to go to the restroom. So then I just brushed it off for a little while, and the boy shot the gun because the park ranger said, yeah, go ahead. He shot the gun, and they're dressed up, and we started seeing shadow people coming through the trees.
Wow.
And we went back to grab the REM pod, and then that's when it really affected me. So I go back up. There's a big like restroom thing, and I use the restroom. I come out, and I was like, I have to go back to the hotel. I says, I'm really sick. So my wife was driving, and we were going down the mountain, and I'd tell her to stop. I have to get out, and I was throwing up, and it's just terrible all the way to the hotel. And I'm in the shower, and I'm cleansing myself, and I just like, this is too much. And finally, after 2.5 hours, whatever it was, let go. And I was fine. So now I want to go back because I want to know who that was.
Mhm.
And is there something I can do? I don't know. It's just a weird, but I've never been to a place to where I'm like, oh my God, I can never go back here. Because I have a lot of mediums that around. They're like, Lee, you are a true saint with God. People follow you in these buildings because I was like, yeah, because I know he's right on my side and I got my kids on the other side. And I'm like, I'm not terrified. I'll get startled and I will like, whoa.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's, I just want to go back, and some people are like, oh no, that was it for me. What you experienced, I wouldn't go back. Well, yeah, I want to go back because maybe something needs to be mentioned, told. I don't know.
Back. Make a circle around you, okay?
Uh-huh.
It'll create a boundary so they can't make you sick. So
Gotcha.
you circle above your head.
Yeah.
Do that times before you go there. It will be this invisible boundary, so when you go back, they can't affect you that way.
Mhm.
It won't make you sick. I wish I knew that because I got sick when I went to Nagasaki. It was bad. I mean, I got really sick. I was heaving. And that was at the Peace Building where they had all the melted artifacts from the atomic bomb. It was so bad. Like, yeah, I got really sick, and I said, I gotta
Yeah,
go.
you got to get out of there. Yeah.
And yeah, you pay, you go in there, you stay there until you're ready to leave, and that's 3 hours later. I go,
Yeah, I got to go. Yeah, I get
What
that.
but it was okay. I was okay when I left. Like, poof, it went away. But when you're in there, oh, like, oh, like, oh, like, when are we leaving? Like,
Yeah, I get that. I got that same way. And it's just like, I was like laying there in bed and I was curled up and I'm like, oh my God. And it wasn't like I was sick. I said it felt like it was something that was hard to explain.
like whatever happened to them, you feel.
Yep. And it was on my left side. And I said, I think I was shot. I think that person got shot.
Yeah,
And I'm experiencing what he went through before he passed away.
yeah,
And I'm like, that was just crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, I was like, and again, it's another reenactment. They came up, they were reenacting a little bit. And and another thing I was thinking too is whatever was there saw the woman and the kids in those clothing, that something they're familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
but they shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
This is not a place for them.
Mm.
So I was just thinking so much. And then 5:30 in the morning, I just felt good. I couldn't sleep because and then I was just like, I'm wide awake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, wow, what happened? Right?
Yeah. It's, but I didn't expect it. It just boom.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that person was real close to me and he just wanted me to feel, because you got to think those soldiers was really young.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, they left their family, their mom and dad. I mean, they were young. So it's just sad.
Yeah. They weren't. Some of them were probably maybe teenagers when they went there, right?
Yeah. Like 15, 16-year-olds, some of them's boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't know what the heck they were doing.
They didn't either. They just was, here, we got to go fight for our territory.
Yeah.
And all the walking they did.
Yeah. And you got to be a patriot. If you're not a patriot, you're gonna be looked down upon, right? Because you didn't go fight for your own whatever. And yeah,
Has
that's
your
what.
sleep been severely affected by a spirit?
Not when I was asleep, but I have been involved with a doppelganger. I thought was my wife.
Mhm.
And um, and I'm at halfway in sleep, so like
Mhm.
it's like she turned on the bedroom light, and I could see her on her side of the bed,
Mhm.
and she got her pushed her legs right up against the mattress, like leaning over to me,
Mhm.
and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Mhm.
And then she just like she lifts up because her hair's in her face. It's sort of creepy, and she
Mhm.
lifted back up, and she turned to face our bathroom and put her head down, and she stood there forever. And I'm like,
Wow.
"I'm not moving." I said, "Because something's telling me that's not my wife."
No.
And then it goes away, like boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, and she was gone that night when that happened. And I
Mhm.
call her and I'm like, she goes, she answers, she goes, because I went, we were having a paranormal event and I had to leave because I was getting sick. I was coming down with the flu.
Mhm.
And we were doing an investigation at the event. And I called her and she goes, "Yeah, I'm fine." I'm like, "I'll tell you when you get home." So,
Mhm.
of course, I'm taking all kinds of medicine. I'm passed out. And the next day I explained what I saw.
Mhm.
And I was like, "You were there." I was like,
Yeah.
"You looked right over at me." And I was like, but then as soon as you did that, I'm like, "This ain't my wife. I'm not moving."
Yeah. Or I'm gonna leave the room and I'm gonna get the heck out of here.
Now, we have
Or
experienced one of the guys on the team. We experienced the shapeshifter in the field
Mhm. Mhm.
to where I swear up and down, I thought it was a deer. And then as
Mm.
it got closer to the tree line, it lifted up and took off running on 2 feet
Wow.
into the woods. And I'm like, "You saw that, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Shapeshifter?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was
Mhm.
like, "Well, yeah." So it was so far though, but we couldn't. I was like, if I could get over that fence to get, but then again, do I really want to go after that?
That's a problem, right?
Yeah, I think I did the right thing by not going.
I think, yeah, better be safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, because it was weird. It looked like a deer. You know how when a deer lifts up when
Yeah.
it's start doing that, but then it stayed up and then it just took off running on 2 feet and it looked like a man. I'm like,
Wow.
"What was that?"
Like you're going,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's not even dark. Like,
I didn't drink anything. I didn't take any pills. Like,
yeah, like my water. I'm looking at my water like, is that water?
you sure,
Yeah,
geez,
so
you put something in my water? No.
and for me, stuff happens when I least expect it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And just like while we were talking how people want to do this, but like you said, Amanda, and what you said, Irene, they want to be a medium. They want it now. They don't want to wait.
No.
But when I don't think of it, that's when I capture things like, did I really just see that? And then I'm like, wait a minute. I investigate. Sometimes I'm like, wait, this is so weird.
Yeah.
Because but today's society, everybody's going super fast, so they've got their blinders up so the peripherals aren't open. They're not seeing the full spectrum. um
They want it right now. In your.
yes, like I was in a drive-through line ordering lunch at a fast food, and it was Wendy's,
Mm,
and the car behind me beeps,
yeah.
and I'm like, I can't go no faster until the lady takes my order.
Yeah.
Can't pull up until I order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so there it's so fast, 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 to
Yeah.
where people experience so much and they're not really focused on it.
Yeah.
They keep moving, they're not really looking at anything. Their day is to get their job done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It.
now everybody has a phone,
Yeah.
so everything's fast. Everything's
Yeah.
fast. And people get mad when their internet's not fast enough.
Oh yeah, that's why my internet's really fast.
Yeah,
But
so it's like they get mad when it could be AOL dial up. I
it's
mean, but yeah, people.
But then it's expensive too, my internet also, because my kids play the PS5. Both sons play it.
Oh, so yeah, so you got
You
the
got
high speed.
gaming internet, and it's, yeah.
Totally understand. Totally
Yeah,
understand.
it's know how they even know. Like both of them split the bills. My husband and my son split the bill together because
Because they're both using it, yeah.
yeah, like for 5 people using the internet, yeah, it's
Yeah,
over
and the
two.
thing is too, like my nephew would, hey, play this game with me, on Xbox or PS5. And I'm like, dude, everything is so fast. I mean, like we're playing a shooting game and I've tried, I'm like, he said, did you already get killed? Yeah, everything's too fast. It's like, and he's playing these people online and I can hear them, and I'm like, you're telling me to go out there and I get killed as soon as I was like, forget it. It's like,
Here they
here's
have
your
a
controller.
here my kids play a paranormal game where you are the investigator. You have the obvious. You have the REM pod. You have the K2 meter, and you have to go in this particular house. And you have to find the ghost, find the spirit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
What's the
gotta
name of that one? It's an they used to have one too called, I can't remember what it was for regular PlayStation.
yeah
And I played that one night because everybody in the paranormal was like, you need to play this game. So I rented it
yeah
and I was playing it late at night and it was creepy.
yeah
Like open the door and you're in this blanket and they slowly take the blanket off and I'm like, no way, man. And then there's a woman standing there on the bed and I'm like, oh, this. I was like, okay, I'm done. I just got off of an investigation. I can't play this anymore.
my kids like playing it. They love it. And I said, yeah,
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm done with that.
my kids are weird anyway, so they'll and they're into really like they don't like American hunt. They don't like American horror movies, but they watch every Japanese horror movie that there is on the market.
Because Japanese horror is better.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. You guys
it's
got
so
some cool stuff
scary,
there.
right? It's freaking.
Yeah,
Just because
you've got
unfortunately, America, even when they do the adaptation for them from a Japanese horror movie, they still unfortunately make it more Hollywood
Yeah,
just because they need the views, they need the money, they need the box office to be a hit. So
absolutely.
they change it the changes doesn't actually make it better. That's
no,
why I prefer Japanese horror movies because they don't really. It's more authentic, so I find it more interesting. A lot some other people do if you watch it,
no.
just because they don't have to make everything more Hollywood.
Yeah.
Scary too. Like you'll be eating your popcorn. You'll be doing this, and yeah, it's more freaky.
Yeah,
Especially
because here everything is drama, drama, drama.
yeah,
Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. It's like, and you're watching it, and you know what the next step's going to be
yeah.
by just watching it. Like, yeah, oh, okay, they're going to go in this room.
And oh yeah, they're gonna come after her. Here they come. Like
Yeah, just like some of our commercials over here. The kids are hiding from the serial killer, and they're like, no, we should go over there and hide behind the chainsaws. Okay, let's go.
and here they're screaming. Ah!
Yeah, exactly right.
Sometimes I have to laugh because I think it's so funny. It's no, it's like oh god, stupid. Like I'm laughing my guts out.
Now, when I was younger, a friend of mine, we have a big haunted house attraction that he owns called Land of Illusions Haunted Theme Park here in Ohio.
Hmm.
And I used to do security, and I would go around during the park hours. I mean, this place, he had one of the best walking haunted trails through the woods.
Hmm.
And I had to go around and check these fog machines. So put the fog juice in.
Hmm.
And I'm on the back trails And to get across the trail, I had to use a chainsaw that didn't have a blade. So just to scare people so that I could get across to get to the fog machine. Well, one night I'm doing that, and I'm by what they call the slaughterhouse. They're walking out, and these girls are just standing there talking, and they're backing the line up because I got a two-way. I got a radio in my ear, and I can hear that, hey, we got to pile up in this area. And I'm like, I'm on it. So I fired my chainsaw up, and it was hot because I've been using it rapidly for an hour. And the girl, when I fired up, she just comes running right to me, like totally blacked out. And she was wearing shorts, and it attached to her leg, the muffler. And she yanked apart, and I'm like, oh, no. I was like, she goes, I'm okay. So I'm on the phone, on the radio, talking to the owner, saying, hey, what happened? He goes, okay, we'll keep an eye on her. Well, I don't even think she got because that trail's like over 1.5 miles long. It started to burn. So she got someone's attention. They got the paramedics back there. And bam, it's burning. So the sheriffs came back, and they're, and I'm talking, and I explained. And yeah, she made it a big thing though. Her whole So we had to give her like passes for the rest of her life and all. I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, but she ran to the chainsaw. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to move the chainsaw, and she's coming after the chainsaw.
Oh dear.
There is a reason why some people will not make it in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Public is crazy. Let's put it that way.
You're right. You are 100% right. People, I don't know. I was like, do you even think before you open your mouth?
Yeah. Nope.
No.
Nope. No. Nope. Are you aware where you are?
Exactly.
You're in this theme park that's supposed to be haunted, that represent something haunted, right? Yeah, I can do it. No problem, right? Yeah, baloney. But yeah, I went to this restaurant for my birthday. I don't know what it is, but I think something attracted spirits. And when I took a certain
She went to a vampire cafe.
And
yeah. Those are so cool.
It went really weird. It was really weird. It like what was that? Like first picture, weird. Second picture, okay, it was normal. And I think it created an atmosphere so they'll hang around there because there's a coffin on the floor of the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. And my kids said, I don't want to sit here. I don't want to eat here. They were complaining.
They didn't like that. They didn't like that atmosphere.
No. And I thought it was really cool. The food was really good too,
Oh, of course.
But I think the picture created an anomaly that I asked my friend in England, what do you think? She goes, you know what you picked up? She goes, there's something there, and something there. I go, yeah, that's what I figured. And she goes, ooh, that's a cool place to go and eat. I said, it is.
It is, yeah.
It is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard about those places. Those are supposed to be some cool locations to check out. I know there's one here in Cleveland, Ohio, that is, I can't think of the name, but it's really cool. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm all about that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, bringing your food out and all that good stuff, or Freddy Krueger.
Oh, I know you're talking about the horror movie.
Yeah, that restaurant.
I've seen, yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
That'd be cool to go and eat.
Yeah, it's like, because when my daughter was alive, I love prime rib, and I knew my daughter wouldn't eat prime rib. And there's this place we took her when she was 4 years old, and the lights were very dim in the restaurant. So she goes, "Hey, Dad, can I have a piece of your steak?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm looking at my ex-wife, and I'm like, "She's not going to eat this because it's bloody, right?" So I give her a piece on a fork, and she takes a bite. She goes, "Mmm." She goes, "I really like that steak sauce." And I'm like, "Yeah, isn't it good?" Yeah, she didn't know what it was, but she goes, "I really like that steak sauce you had." So, places like that, I think some of the menu stuff on those at those restaurants, it's really cool looking. So definitely I want to check one out.
I think you should take more. I think you should take a selfie or a group photo when you're there.
Yeah.
You might find something that you don't know.
There you go. Well, you know what? We were investigating this past weekend at Whispers Estate, and we went outside, and some people was walking down, and they were like, they looked at us and said, "Are you guys going in that building?" And I looked back at the group, and I looked at them, and I said, "Wait, you can see me?" And the guy goes, "What?" And I'm like, "Just kidding." He said he thought I was really seeing a ghost. He goes, "Wait."
That's a care person, right?
Yeah, you got to have fun,
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. Especially, I'm sometimes I talk to something and I go like this, and my husband said, "What are you talking to?" I go, "Never mind, you won't know." He goes, "Okay."
Yeah, disregard me asking.
Sometimes I do this and people go, "Oh."
Right.
We go, they look at each other, and my husband goes,
So the ghostly travels, what is that? Is that something different than the Paravisions?
What it is I just started Ghostly Travels. Paravisions, I started it in 2002. That's my main paranormal team name. And this past year, my wife and I has been invited by so many different people and teams to investigate with them. And I thought, you know what, this would be a cool thing. Is we're stepping away from the team to network with other teams to go to these locations. Maybe we should. I'm going to change the name for that. And this goes for anyone. Like if it's just three of us, or if it's someone else going somewhere, they can always use Ghostly Travels, because it's got my logo's in the center, and for Paravisions. And so I just, and it's stuck, and everybody's like, "Oh, that is so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's what we do." And last weekend we were with some friends that, that are not on the team. So yeah. And then if the team gets called out, if, we get a case from TAPS or anything, it's Paravisions. But if it's just us, it's Ghostly Travels.
Interesting. I feel that you get a lot of children that have come around you.
Me, yes, all the time. So if there's a location where there's kids, I seem to find them. I'm like I tell everyone, Tommy Boy, Chris Farley, that's me. The big kid.
The children's spirit magnet.
Yeah, there you go. It's like I'm the big Jim. Everybody wants to play with Lee, and it's, yeah.
I think so. Next time when you go, I think you should bring some hard candy when you go. Chocolate, lollipops, whatever. They like
Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, Jolly Ranchers.
Well, it might be Jolly Ranchers for you, because unfortunately, if you bring chocolate, you're just gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw something really.
off.
I saw something cool yesterday. you guys may have seen the video on TikTok or something. I saw it on my Facebook Reels, but this guy took he took the watermelon Jolly Ranchers and melted them down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he took a grape and stuck it like on a popsicle stick,
Mm-hmm.
and then dipped it inside that Jolly Rancher that was melted, and
Mm-hmm.
then put it in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that looks really good. I love candy, so I was like, I'm a big candy person.
I think that'd be good when you go on your next. You know, people say they go out and buy really expensive equipment when they go,
Oh, yes.
and I don't think you really need it. I think the most simplest equipment is really good. Like even if you go to a toy store, they all have a computer chip now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring that. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Like anything like that is really good. You don't need anything that really, really, really expensive. I think they're really overpriced too. And yeah.
I bought a baby monitor,
Mm-hmm.
and I set it up if there's anywhere. I just won't tell the spirits what I'm doing. So if we're
Mm-hmm.
walking around, I'll lay voice recorders
Mm-hmm.
behind pictures and everywhere throughout the location,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes I feel like if I'm telling them where it's at, they're not going to come and talk.
No.
So I just set it down. I'll take the baby monitors, I'll move them around in different areas, carry the one where I can hear it, and set it down. We've heard some crazy things. I mean, I'm like, did you hear that? There's nobody in that room, right? And they're like, no, we're all right here. And I turn on my flashlight and everybody's standing there. And I'm like, go to that room. Something has happened in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Baby monitors are actually so effective. One of the craziest experience I had, and it was ongoing, was after my daughter was born. We were living with her at the time, her grandparents, and she'd wake up crying in the middle of the night, and I'd hear it, but I'd also hear a woman in there comforting her, like, it's okay, baby, just kind of heard a
Oh,
woman
that's
comforting
crazy.
her. I assumed every time this happened,
Your grandma.
because sometimes grandma would wake up and go in there and pick her up and rock her to sleep. So I'd always assume, okay, it's her nana's rocking her to sleep. That's the woman I'm hearing. But then, there'll be times where I'm like, and then sometimes she'll whisper, like, if you can hear me, can you go make a bottle? So, there'll be times, like I said, hearing this woman comforting her. I still assumed, because it was at a whisper, but you could tell clearly it was a woman. It was very clear, comforting her. So I walked in, I'd like, let me see if they need a bottle to be made. And I'm just in the next room over, so I would have seen if anyone left the room.
Sure.
So I walked out, I opened her door quietly, like I said, assuming, and looked over at the rocking chair, assuming to see her with her grandma being rocked. And there's absolutely no one in there. And this happened to me several times. It kept happening.
Yeah, that's just creepy. Goosebumps.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't even know who this woman is, but it's just like whoever it was comforting her. Unfortunately, like I said,
it was a good thing. Yeah. And it would
I
have been
kept
different if it was just you and her there, and you're like, well, nobody's here but me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're running out full force to knock someone out. Yes, so yeah, I totally understand that. But yeah, those are really good. I still have my first analog recorder that I bought when I went to Moundsville Penitentiary. My first investigation. I still use it. I can still find some cassette tapes, and I use the digital, but but I still love the analog, because you're going to get what you get. There's no mimicking anything on a cassette tape.
Yeah.
And like here, you can't use digital recorders in the court system anyways because of manipulation.
Yeah.
So.
Even a regular Polaroid camera or a 35 millimeter camera will pick up a lot more, and it's really hard to manipulate because a digital camera you can move it.
Yes.
And create that
Yep,
linear. So it
absolutely.
and with a film, you can see it on the negative that there's a spirit right there,
Absolutely. And you
and
know what?
Yes and no.
Yeah, sometimes you tell the people when you take it to the store to get those developed is don't throw nothing away. I want
oh,
every picture that was taken.
yeah,
I had it
It
done
goes,
twice to me with my old 35 millimeter, where the local drugstore would actually, oh, we threw away some. Wait, what?
give it back.
Yeah, and they don't know, but yeah, there some of the stuff's missing because they go through them, and I'm like, no, 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 just print it off and put it in the thing, and I'll come and pick it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've had that happen to me in the past. I'm like, oh man, that could have been the one that I'm waiting on.
yeah, exactly,
well, the
exactly.
problem with a lot of the older cameras and what a lot of people thought they caught spirits when they developed the camera is it turns out it was the double exposure, so what's called.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
So
Double.
that was easy to do too.
Yeah. Just a little bit of movement.
Yeah,
Or what I love the best is when people would send me pictures or say, hey, you got to look at this. And an exit emergency light will
mhm.
cast that red off. So they're moving as they're taking the
Yeah,
pictures and it
yeah,
shoots those red lines everywhere. And they're saying, that's a moving orb. Look at it. It's red. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I was like, zoom into that where it starts and you can see the exit sign. I was like, it's the
yeah.
exit sign. Or
Well,
like we investigated a movie theater and the lights along the walkway
hmm,
were on and he took a picture and it looked like it was cool looking. They shot straight up to the ceiling.
yeah,
And I'm like, no, 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 no. Zoom in.
yeah.
I said,
You
if you
can,
put that out there in that social media, people are going to say, are you losing your mind?
yeah,
But then there's people like, are fascinated with orbs, like
yeah,
massive orbs. Like, well, that could be rain, could be
mhm,
moisture,
Could be dust.
dust, bugs.
yeah,
It's so I used to work for a security company and tech support used to get in arguments with people because there'd be a lot of people who'd call in and it, the cameras were motion activated cameras and they would swear they saw like a fairy or something weird
yeah,
paranormal. They'd call on camera and they'd call tech support about it, swearing up and down it had to be something paranormal. They're looking
Well,
at it and they tell me it was just a bug who flew close to the camera.
yeah,
Like, it was clearly a bug because they'd watch it. They'd be like, "Ma'am, sir, it's a bug. I'm not gonna say it's a fairy. I'm not gonna say it's a ghost. It's a bug."
it's a
yeah,
bug because too
Like
those
bugs
those
aren't that
cameras
big, but yeah,
magnify.
it flew close to the camera
yeah,
Yeah,
or it landed on the camera. That's why it looks a lot bigger. It just landed on the camera. It flew right by the camera.
we got my mom a security camera set up. A couple cameras around her house outside, and she's got the DVR and the monitor set up. And I'm over there like every few days wiping down spider webs and cobwebs because she goes, I can't see nothing. And then she'll be like, she'll see certain things like the bug. And then, she knows what I do. And she'll say, oh my God, you got to rewind that. Last night I saw this crazy thing just go through the screen. And she says, and I think it's a ghost. You brought a ghost over here. I was like, I did not bring a ghost over here.
I love that. I love that. I love that. That's so funny.
That's my mom.
Or or us, or us. My house is loaded with demons. I go, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You gotta
yeah,
love it too.
yeah. They love your place because they like to hang out there. That's why they're demons. They go, ha ha ha.
True, true. Very
I just find it so funny.
true.
You know darn well there are no demons there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the maybe the 1% right. Yeah, but nah, they're
Yeah.
just
Yeah, you would
they're
know more if there was a demon. You would know more. Trust me, it would be doing more than that.
oh, and you'd feel it too because it would be totally different, right?
Well, that's
Absolutely.
what a demonologist on a podcast once said, because they said all the time, "How do I know if it's a demon or just a spirit?" And he was just like, "Trust me, if it was a demon, you wouldn't be questioning it.
Yeah, you'd know right off
You
Yeah,
the
would
bat.
know.
like you would not be questioning it."
There's no question in that.
Yeah.
That is a change. We did do a case several years ago. It was a Mexican family, and they called me in, and I go, and they were talking about their 14-year-old daughter. And when I first met the people, I knew something was off just by their personality, and they seemed scared. They really did. And we're
Mhm.
sitting in their living room. It's thundering and lightning here. Perfect time for paranormal. Um,
Right.
and so they're telling me that, okay, the dad's family, they believe in Satan. They
Mhm.
devil worship. I'm like, okay, that's just a big thing they do in Mexico. Um, her family, Mexican, they do not. She's Catholic. So the daughter had went to see her grandparents and his family,
Mhm.
came back, and her atmosphere and personality, everything around this kid totally changed.
Well.
So they showed me some video of her laying in across their bed because she couldn't sleep at night. She's up all night. She's afraid to close her eyes because of this guy. She called it this guy.
Mhm.
Um, they actually caught it on camera. She's laying across the bed at an angle.
Mhm.
Something grabs her ankles, pulls her off the bed, and throws her across the dresser. And as it's doing it, they're like, listen to the audio.
Mhm.
So they replayed it again, and I'm like, dude, I said, I don't know. I says, and then, so that was one. And then a few minutes later, they showed us another thing. The daughter was sitting in her bedroom on her bed,
Mhm.
big window on the right hand side. Window was up, no screen. Wind was blowing, and then the curtain would go back. They caught this with the camera because they had a camera set up in her room to observe her.
Mhm.
Someone in their family said, just keep recording her. The curtain flew up, and it's like somebody came from outside from the 2-story, that's the second floor, walked through the curtain. You could see the full exposure of this body through the curtain, crossed over her legs, and then you could hear and out the door of the room. Talking
Ooh.
about this case really is, yeah, this is the closest of darkness that I've ever investigated.
Yeah.
Um, So I was straight up. I was like, you know what? I'm a paranormal investigator. I said, I've never dealt with anything this dark. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I said, there's so many people out there would say, yeah, let us come in. Let us try to help you. No, you've got children involved. I said, can I reach out to an archdiocese here in Cincinnati?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're fine because, she's tried. So I did. I reached out to St. Anne Catholic Church, which is not far down the road from their home.
Mhm.
And it took a little bit of time for them to get back with me, but they
Mhm.
did. And
Mhm.
he told me what to do is to go in there one night and investigate it. Try to capture something so you can show me. Okay. He said it. And when you call me back, I will schedule and I'll have you come with me so we can talk to the family.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
So we investigated. 3 of us. We went into this house. Um, it was the husband and the wife with us. The
Mhm.
daughter. I met the daughter one time, not during an investigation though. She seemed okay at the day I met her.
Mhm.
Um, we're inside this house, and we hear this crazy sound underneath the stairs. Not like not like an animal, not like anything I've ever heard. But this thing made a weird sound, a growl.
Mm-hmm.
And as you got closer to that side of the house, we were up on the second floor, but if you got real close to that side of the house, it was like a magnet to your head. It was just like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? So the guy with me says, let's go downstairs. And the lady goes, I have a closet that's under the stairway. We open that up. As we open it up, you hear a hiss. I'm like, what the hell? He takes a picture, and this picture, the room is real bright.
Mm-hmm.
And then that light turns into a string of light and shoots across like this and disappears.
Wow.
That's all we've ever caught, and then what we experienced. So the whole night, nothing else but that. And we were pretty much done after that, because I was like, okay, something's telling us we need to leave, because this is beyond us. So the next day I did send an email to the Archdiocese in Cincinnati, and he got back and he helped them out, because this was beyond me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into something that I don't know the answer to. I'm just going to be 100% honest, because I don't study demonology stuff. I don't know.
No. Yeah. It's like, don't poke at something that's above your pay grade, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is beyond me. Let someone higher up deal with this.
Yeah. Exactly. And there are so many paranormal investigators. They call them paranormal investigators, whatever.
Yeah.
And they poke at something, and yeah.
And they make it worse. And one time when we had our podcast, we had a shaman on, and this shaman was talking about these locations where people pay to play. And he was saying that he feels like within the next 10 years, so we've still got another 5 years to go. He said, one of these locations, where you go in and you're poking the bear, people, and a lot of people provoke. They're provoking this. He says, what's going to happen is it's going to unrelease the beast inside that building. And so many investigators are going to get hurt. Innocent people, from somebody that's provoked that thing. The next night, that individual is going to go into that room with the same story in his mind or her mind. And he made good sense. He made really good sense. And I'm like, yeah, I said, that's the sad thing, because we were just talking about it. These stories, instead of going in with an empty mind, you're feeding off of a story that may not even be true.
Yeah. And you got a lot of garbage in your head, right? And
a lot of people don't realize just because you provoke it, it doesn't mean it's not going to take it out on someone else. I had talking to someone before, and he said he was in a group, he was investigating with a group, and he could never investigate with this guy ever again, just because this guy was one of those guys where he had every form of protection on him. He did every form of kind of protection on him before he went to this haunted location. The reason why he had everything and did everything was he went in there and he started provoking the spirit. He started making it mad. And because it couldn't reach him, it actually attacked someone else, where they actually had to drag that person out to safety, and they were bloody. They're like, wow. If it can't get you, it'll get someone else around you.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to go after something. There's going to be somebody that we call the weakest link, weaker than that person, and they're going to attack them. And it's usually the person in the group that's like, oh, what was that? That's on the edge anyways. Because somebody turned the knob on an old door that squeaks. What was that? That's the person. So I tell everybody, when you investigate with me, I says, keep your guard up, stay focused, please. I was like, we can have fun, but when we're messing with something, you don't know.
Yeah. You don't know what the heck they're gonna do with you, right? It's
You do
like,
not know.
no,
Unfortunately, you
and
do
you
not.
know, and
There's been investigations where I've talked to the people afterwards, and they regretted the team they used just because when they came in, they made the situation worse. They're like they added something in, and they also what was already here is now even more angry for whatever they did.
Stirred something up,
yeah,
done something in a different way. Some people, my beliefs too and opinions is on the Ouija boards. People will pull those out when people say don't use them. Some people don't know how to close those.
no,
It also
or
might be the
put
same thing with
or
seances.
put it back.
So
Yeah,
You let it out. You put it back, and you close the door. That's what you're supposed to do. But then, you know, all hell breaks loose, right?
oh,
And
absolutely.
they don't tell you. That's what I had
Yeah,
residential, and they didn't tell me. And my friend had to find out. And they said, "Oh, I burnt it." I said, "No, you didn't.
no,
Don't don't
that's not the
lie."
way to do it.
that's what everyone says. That's the worst thing you can do with a Ouija board is burn it.
Exactly.
And
Like,
guess
it's
what?
not.
That thing, it was in their house, and I said, "I'm done." I passed it on to somebody else. Somebody else didn't want to do it, so I said, "I'm done."
Yeah. Sometimes too, when you do these investigations, and now over here, there's too many shows on paranormal, this YouTube, everything, and
Yeah.
they call you to come in. And I've had this happen to us a bunch of times where we get there, we did a preliminary, we go to schedule to investigate, we're there that night, we're there
Yeah.
maybe an hour. All of a sudden, all these people start showing up. Their friends, their family. Oh, well, you guys are ghost hunters. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna drink pizza, drink beer, and eat pizza. And can we tag along? And I'm like, no, hold up. We don't know you guys from Adam.
Yeah.
We have our own life. We
Mm-hmm.
work full time. We have our own families. We stop what we're doing for you, and you're
Mm-hmm.
using our time and us as a circus. And I said, it don't work that way. Pack up,
Nope.
guys. We're leaving. So we leave. I'm done. I don't play those games. Now, if you
No.
told me that up front, like, hey, we're going to have some friends over, and I know we've got some activity here, and we would love for you guys to just come in. And is it okay if we tag along? That's a different story. But when you tell me this is affecting your family, and I leave my family to go help you, and you're going to do this to me, no, we're done.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
And that
Or
happened.
like,
2 hours away from home, and I'm like, I was there for literally an hour. Now I'm driving back.
yeah. It's like, why are you wasting my time, right?
Yeah,
When somebody who really needs help wants it, and
exactly.
just, you know.
But it's these TV shows that has corrupted these people because, they want their house haunted. They think it's cool.
Yeah.
They want to have these parties. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like,
Like
I
no, you
do
some
don't.
paranormal investigators say, "I want to live in a haunted house." I go, "Yeah, have at it, because I sure as hell don't want to."
Right?
team who went out to a bread and breakfast, and they were the owners trying to get them to say this place was haunted. I think to
Oh
basically
God.
advertise this is a haunted location to get the paranormal crew out. Everyone into paranormal, so have that angle there.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
just like, what irritated us was they were clearly trying to fake stuff in the house to make it look paranormal and trying to get us to say that, yeah,
That
it's
it
really
is.
haunted. And we're just like, we can't say that. I'm not going to say that.
That's
But
sad
guess
right
what?
there.
But guess what? You know what? Don't ask what you want. Won't you? Because sometimes if you ask that you want something and it happens, like, you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
No, I think they would love it. Those people would love it was actually haunted, though, just because, I mean, the more haunted
Mhm.
something is, the more you can advertise that for paranormal investigators and charge more.
Absolutely. They want the money.
Yeah, because
But
they know there's going to be paranormal investigators. If you say
Absolutely.
things are flying off the walls, So you charge a little bit
Wow.
more. You know, there's going to be some people into the paranormal who's going to pay that price to try to experience that.
Yeah. Like you say, be careful what you ask for.
That's right, because it may come
Because
back like surprise.
they're gonna say, "Oh yeah," like Louis. They think they want it. Let's give them something, right? Let's let them
Oh
have
yeah,
those. They're all menacing, and they're gonna get the worst haunting out of their life. Yeah, told you so. Not to do that, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
No, I've
gosh,
actually heard of this happening, where someone said that someone told me they with the Ouija board,
mhm,
they found a Ouija board and they in their house renovating it. They brought it down to the city dump. They threw it in the dump, and they said the next day it was back in their house.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
I've heard of that stuff.
of course, of course.
Well, yeah. When we did, I done a couple of haunting shows, Ghost of War and Trapped in Terror,
Mhm,
and I think it was Trapped in Terror. A lady reached out to me from South Carolina
mhm.
and asked if she could send me a Ouija board, and I'm like, no. So I'm talking to her on the phone, and I'm like, can you send me pictures of this Ouija board and all this stuff? She says, yeah, it's made in 1967. I was like, okay. And she says when we bought the house, we found it actually in a wall, because what they did is they took a wall down to make this room bigger. And when
Mhm.
they did that, it was stuffed inside the wall. And I'm like, this is weird. So I was like, no, I says, hold on. I was like, let me get a hold of somebody. So a dear friend of mine, Robert Murch, he's in Boston, Massachusetts. He's got a Ouija board museum.
Mhm,
He changed my ways of thinking about Ouija boards too.
mhm,
So I called him up and I said, hey, will you accept a Ouija board? And he goes, oh, absolutely. And I explained this lady, and he goes, yeah, tell her, here's my mailing address. Send it to me and I will keep you in the loop. Okay. Excuse me. So I call her back and I'm like, okay, I've got a place. This guy, Robert Murch, he's got a museum for Ouija boards. He would gladly put it in there for you. So she sent it to him and we stayed in contact. And he said a month after he had that, he's got a lot of Ouija boards from different times from all over the world. He goes, Lee, that little Ouija board was very active this first month being in my building. I was like,
oh
really?
wow.
Yeah, he goes, I think somebody did not know how to close it.
Mhm,
And he goes, oh, yeah. He says, so he still has it till today. Now, this was back in 2014.
mhm.
And yeah, he goes, yeah, she wanted to send it to me. And I'm like, no, you're not sending it to me. I was like,
He didn't.
no,
No.
forget it. She goes, what's
One
your mailing address? I'll send it to you. And I'm like, no, you're not.
one thing about doing something in this business, right? People say, "Well, I like haunted things. I put haunted objects in my house because it's so interesting." I said, "Do you have anything?" I go, "No, no."
Well,
I said,
people want us to send haunted things from Japan, but the difference is majority of haunted things in Japan, if you send it to another country,
Mhm.
will go absolutely berserk.
or
'Cause they don't
angry.
wanna leave Japan.
Yes,
So, you send it
absolutely.
to another country, especially the ones that don't, from the war era,
Yeah.
you send them that, you send them to America, all of a sudden they're getting unboxed and they're in America. Yeah, they're gonna go crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's why, even I don't have anything haunted in my house. I don't. The reason why is I don't want that energy affecting what I do.
I get it.
And
No, I
they
do.
said, "Well, you should."
I've got a couple
Yeah,
right here beside me.
yeah, I know. I can see them. I can feel it.
Yeah, here's I don't know how good you can see it, but this suitcase,
Hmm.
there's a lot of energy It's connected to this suitcase. This is a American Tourister suitcase from 1971. A friend of mine owns an antique shop in Waynesville, Ohio, and his daughter and his wife both, they took it out of the shop. He puts it back in the shop. Things happen when it's in the shop. So he says, you need to come and get this. Okay.
Mm.
I've got a doll over here that I think he's like 19. He's in his 1960s here. I've got sitting over here. I don't like touching him. So, but it's best that I have it instead of being out there someone that can get into trouble.
Yeah.
So we did an investigation on TikTok with the suitcase one night. Had it open. We were getting some things. Had a friend, Teresa. She's on my team. She's a medium. She was picking up a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what we picked up, though, was a little scary because we picked up a Wendigo.
Mm.
And I'm like, no, we're not. The first instinct I thought when we were picking up the Wendigo is it's trying to get us to drop our fear cage down so it can attach itself, because they do. They just want to come into your life, into your body, and they want to draw you down.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. So we stopped the investigation. It was different. It was different. So that suitcase stays here now in my office.
That's why it gives me a headache, that suitcase.
Did it? The suitcase did?
Yeah.
Wow.
My head started throbbing for no reason. Ooh, and I got dizzy.
Yeah, there's some energy under that.
I got really dizzy. Yeah.
And what I usually do is I cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, everyone, it is starting to get late, so we're gonna end this.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, guys. I had a fun time. I just looked at the clock. You know what? I really thought it was going to be 9. I looked here. It's 9 p.m.
with us. I was like, if I don't end this, we're gonna be talking all night. So yeah, like Lee, you're always welcome back on if you wanna schedule.
Absolutely.
Yes. But for everyone who tuned in, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.